There's 700 horses, a man and machine. They're full wide. Green flag, showtime. The Knoxville Nationals are green.
We're here live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Zach Chapman here with Shaggy TV, and rumor has it I picked up sponsorship for the street stock division, so they're going to be broadcasted for the rest of the year. These are my probably favorite thing. It's what's gotten me involved in this league, and really looking forward to calling these street stock races here the rest of the night. But Gambler Motorsports Wednesday night hometown heroes. Here we come, Lernierville Speedway, and we are in my neck of the woods up here in Pennsylvania this week. And man, we see the flagman waving the flag here. Maybe the end of practice. We may be getting ready to go straight into qualifying here. It looks like we are going to go up to this blimp for a little bit, get a nice aerial view of the track here. You see, right now we're on the front stretch side of things, and man, if you go over that back stretch, oh, hold on. Nothing's going to bring you back from that. Now let's see who we're taking a look at right now. We'll show you guys. I know it's the 5 of Isaac Salas, and we're going to follow him around here for lap number 1. You know the drill. Purple good, green good as well, but you don't want any orange. Purple means you're the fastest out of anyone in that sector. So let's take a look here. Isaac's going to ride the lip here. Maybe almost jump the cushion there in one. Because he's got to have a good 3 and 4 here if he wants to have any shot at a decent lap number 2 here. As he went yellow. This is going to be slower than his out laps. He is not going to be happy. Going to go to the bottom side here, though, in 1 and 2. Right now, Brandon Templeton on pole. with a 17.5. Let's see if he can pick up any time. He does, 17.42, but not going to be enough. This man, Isaac Salas, he's going to go to the top of the charts with a 17.27. Randy Shreve's going to jump up to P4. See if we can find somebody who's out here on an early lap. Corey Denson, let's see what he does. Corey Denson's going to stay 12th. Anthony Morano, he's coming around here for his first lap. Let's see what the Ant-Man has in the 32 machine. Gonna run the lip here the first lap, and you know, we saw guys make a lot of speed on the bottom. They're running that high side just to carry speed, and looks like Anthony either lagged out or he ran out of time in qualifying, not able to get both laps in, and that's what it's going to be. He's going to run out of time there, but man, his first lap, he's not going to complain. It was perfect for the invert, and man, now the Ant-Man, here he is. He's going to start on the pole. Let's bring up the starting grid here for you guys this evening here. Starting on the pole is going to be the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, into his outside. The General in the 87, Andy Patton. Inside of row number 2, you've got Randy Shreves into his outside. The 5 slide. Here we go. This is not looking good. We're seeing cars hop around, and iRacing had a problem last Wednesday, if you remember. And I hope that that's not reminiscent and doesn't carry over here, but whoa, that is not looking good. Heat race number 1 also thanks to Gambler Motorsports. They're the sponsors of heat race number 1. So let's hope iRacing gets it together here and behaves itself. As we're going green here, heat race number 1 at Lernierville Speedway. The Ant-Man looking to complete the pass on the General Andy Patton, but Andy Patton's going to fight on the high side as hard as he can. He's got the 5 of Isaac Salas trying to push him along. As we race off into turn number 1 here, you see the Ant-Man, he's going to throw it low. Can he get enough momentum to clear? No, he can't. He's going to send it in here into turn 3 one more time. The General's going to go off and over, and Isaac Salas is going to move into P2. Tough break for Andy Patton. Now Isaac Salas, he's actually carried that momentum here. He's fighting for the lead here is the 5. The Ant-Man, can he go over? Isaac Salas over the edge. Able to keep it out of the wall, but he's going to lose a lot of spots here as now Randy Shreves finds himself in P2. Going through turns 3 and 4, Randy Shreves going to run the lip here. Diamond off, going to see if he can't carry enough momentum to maybe get a run on this 32 of Anthony Morano. Randy Shreves is definitely catching the Ant-Man, but he is running out of time here. He's coming out of turns 3 and 4. They're going to get the white flag, final time by. The Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, is just going to protect the bottom. Randy Shreves looking to try to get a big run here. Going into turns 3, he's going to run the high side. Can he get anything? The flagman pulls out the checkered flag. Randy Shreves goes over. He's going to lose P2. He's going to lose P3. He's going to finish 4th. Anthony Morano, Isaac Salas, Corey Denson, Randy Shreves, and Andy Patton rounding out the field here tonight. And Randy Shreves went over the edge. They may have to pull the backup car out. Starting on the pole for heat race number 1, we've got the 117 of Michael Todd, and his outside the 271 of Sean Green. Inside of row number 2, we've got the high side banger Patrick Spangler, and his outside the 088 of Trent Verstraeten. Running out the field tonight in the 051, we've got Clay Christopherson. You know, they call me Shaggy. I've got love for that mystery machine there, Michael Todd. We'll have to see if he can carry on the tradition. You know, last time we did a full season of Street Stocks, I was the champion, so I won't win this year, but I can say it's because I didn't race here. But
Green flag.
as we get ready to go off, green flag in the air, Michael Todd with a great jump over the 271 of Sean Green. Patrick Spangler already looking from third to first, going on the inside. Contact between Clay Christopherson and Sean Green as Clay Christopherson's going to go around. Right now, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, is going to go to that high side here. He's going to see if he can't get momentum. We're 3 wide coming off of turn 2. They're going to send it in hard. We're going to watch the battle here. Can Patrick Spangler make a move on this high side? Here he comes, side by side, going into turn number 1. Oh, no! Oh, man, Michael Todd got maybe a little looser, tried to throw a block on that 39. The 39 shot for the middle, and the 088 of Trent Verstraeten, he's the one really going to pay the price for this, is Patrick Spangler. He is going to try to run down the 271 of Sean Green without a front end here. Oh, hold on, Patrick. Can he keep her straight? He's going to fall back to third. Trent Verstraeten all of a sudden sees P3, and he might have some hopes of gaining at least one position here, but double sticks in the air that time by. White flag coming out this time out of 4 for your leader, Sean Green, in the 271. Able to survive through all the mayhem as a lead by a 2.5 to this man, Scooby-Doo. Sean Green coming through turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air. It's waving for your leader, Sean Green. Michael Todd will watch the race here for third at the line. Trent Verstraeten's going to go by Patrick Spangler as we see he drives over the edge. Patrick Spangler, oh, did he put it in reverse? I tried to go to the turn 4 camera to see it. Oh, there he goes down there. Well, we're going to take a quick. Oh wait, no, okay. We've got these capped at 5 per heat, I guess. So we're gonna run 3 heats. Or maybe it was 6. I can't remember how many are in number 1. Well, either way, I've never been good at math, and we're just gonna pretend I'm even talking about anything here. We are gonna bring up the starting grid here for heat race number 3, and you know, last heat race number 2 was sponsored by Regency Home Inspections, and heat race number 3, sponsored by Maurer Farm Management, is going to go a little like this. You got the Brewerton Beast on the front row, and the 513 starting on pole, Jeff Parker. Into his outside in the 033, you've got John Morano. The salesman in the 20 is going to roll off on the inside of row number 2, and that, of course, is Blake Chapman. Get your popcorn ready. And his outside, we've got the 31 of Brandon Templeton. Rounding out the field tonight in the 118, we've got Logan Wentz. Logan Wentz, he's got a lot of good guys to pass here. This is a tough heat to start in the back. So I definitely don't envy that man right there. This guy out front, the Brewerton Beast, man, he's got to be one of the favorites. He has really, really developed in these street stocks and the small blocks, big blocks. I mean, just all around dirt. This guy's got to be someone you keep an eye on here tonight.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air for heat race number 3. We're going to watch him sail off into turn 1. Oh, contact there already. Here's their 3, 4 wide for P2. Oh, it's lap number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Brandon Templeton, he doesn't care. He's going to the bottom. He's looking under that 33 of John Morano. They're 3 wide for the lead, coming out of 1 and 2, but Blake Chapman with a big run on the high side. He's got that Tiger machine ripping that lip. Brandon Templeton running the bottom in that 31. Trying to make a pass, but he just runs out of momentum on that bottom side. Sending it off into turns 3 and 4. Brandon Templeton, can he throw the slider? He's going to shut the door. And John Morano has to check up, possibly getting the wall a little bit as the 31's going to send it back down. Brandon Templeton trying to catch your leader in the 20, but Blake Chapman has been fast. 17:48 last time by. Let's see what he does this time. 17:61 to Brandon Templeton, 17:63. So pretty even, but if Brandon wants to run him down, he's got to find a way to make up some time. He's coming out of turn 4, white flag in the air. Final time around for the leader. Blake Chapman here is the salesman looking to start P3, but Brandon Templeton really made up some ground through 1 and 2. Does he have a shot at this thing? Final flag in the air. Checkered flag is waving. Blake Chapman's going to be your heat race number 3 winner, followed by Brandon Templeton, John Morano, Jeff Barker. It looks like, yeah, is going to beat out Logan Wentz for 4th, and you heard it. Logan Wentz going to bring home your 5th and final spot in heat race number 3. We're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be right back with you on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Don't go anywhere.
Raceway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses of man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. Here come the Extreme Speed TV Coast to Coast Racing League Sprint Cars in the Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville National. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Race, drive, green flag, showtime in Knoxville Nationals underway. The Coast to Coast Racing League, in partnership with the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, Dylan Westbrook Racing, and Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding, are proud to present the 5th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals for the Steve King Foundation. July 22nd to July 25th. 4 days of Knoxville action using the actual Knoxville National scoring system. Over $2,200 in payouts and prizes. $15 for Coast to Coast members, $20 for non-Coast to Coast members with a max I rating of 3,000. All proceeds go directly to the Steve King Foundation. Feel free to donate more. Open setup 360s with all races at the Knoxville Raceway. The event will be open to the first 100 drivers. All races will be broadcasted on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. For more info, log on to www.c2crl.com. It's showtime.
And we are back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. You saw Brandon Templeton at the top of the speed charts there in warm-ups, and we are getting ready to go feature racing action here at Lernierville. 25 laps, and We're going to go ahead and bring you up that starting grid here. Starting on the pole, you've got the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32, and his outside in the 271. You've got Sean Green. Inside of row number 2, we've got the 20 of Blake Chapman, the salesman, into his outside old slide job, Isaac Salas. Inside of row number 3, the 117 of Michael Todd, and his outside, the 31 of Brandon Templeton. Inside of row number 4, we have the 91 of Corey Denson into his outside, the 088 of Trent Straight. Inside of row number 5, you've got the 033 of John Morano and his outside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Inside of row number 6, you've got the 39, the high side banger Patrick Spangler and his outside, the Brewerton Beast Jeff Barker. Andy Patton is going to roll off on the inside of row number 7, the General and his outside, the 051 of Clay Christopherson, and it looks like we are getting ready to go racing here as I think they cut it short on me there, and we are going to roll. Here's the Ant-Man. Anthony Morano is going to bring him to the green flag. Green flag is out here at Lernerville Speedway. As you watch the dust fly here, these guys are going to kick it up here tonight at Lernerville Speedway. 3, 4 wide throughout the field here. Oh, big one in the back here.
Flag is out.
Morano involved, Patrick Spangler, Jeff Barker, as we see the aftermath. They drive away. Let's go back and take a look here. See if we can find out what happened. The high side banger, Patrick Spangler, involved in this. He's in the middle, 3 wide. Oh, you see Randy Shreves already was slowing up on the outside. Patrick Spangler gets into the back of Jeff Barker, which maybe had some help from the 33 of Morano. Let's go back. We have to look at that again here. We're going to go with the in-car of Patrick Spangler. Try to get you a little better view here. Yeah, Patrick, I mean, he didn't really have much room down there with the slow Randy Shreves on the outside. And a little early, guys rubbing fenders, you know, not a lot of room. So that's what's going to happen for sure here at Lernierville Speedway. His lights are still on the pace track. We're going to go one more time around here, I'd imagine. Guys getting re-lined up here. If you faintly hear the dog, I apologize. My wife is trying to wrangle that little sucker, but I think we have an unwelcome squirrel in the backyard, and as you can tell, my dog does not like the squirrels very much. Anthony Morano, he's hoping he doesn't drive like a squirrel out front right now. He just needs to settle down, go to work here, and set the pace here in the 32 as he's off. We're going here at Lernerville, and you're watching them stack up throughout the field. Wild start here at Lernerville. The Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, able to put a good gap on this man, Sean Green here as Isaac slide job. Salas going to work here on the bottom. He runs out of steam, though. He's got to fall back up behind that 20 of Blake Chapman. Blake Chapman looking to see if he can find a little sliver of room on the outside of Sean Green. As Sean Green's going to get trapped down in the middle now, and oh man, that's going to be no man's land. You don't want to get stuck down there. There goes Blake. Here comes Isaac. Sean knows he's got to get up there, but man, he is trapped on the bottom right now. He's going to lose 2 spots. Oh, no, he's not. Isaac Salas is going to go over. He's going to kiss the wall coming back on. We're 3 wide going down the front stretch. Isaac Salas is going to be able to make it out without losing as many spots as he could have here. Going to fall back to 6, but now he's got to get by that 088 of Trent Straight, and that is never an easy task, but I'll tell you what, the salesman up front, Blake Chapman, here he comes. Dun-dun, dun-dun. It's Shark Week, and that 20 of Blake Chapman is stalking Anthony Morano. Here he comes, ripping the lip in four. Oh, who went up and over?
Yellow flag is out.
Trent Verstraeten, I believe. Let's see if we see him pull back on. The drive of shame there coming over the edge. And, well, Trent Verstraeten, we kind of saw it happen, but we're going to go back and take a look here at this replay. We're going to see if we can go to a little Chapman racing drone cam here. Let's see if we can see what happened with Trent. So he's going to throw a big slider here on Isaac. And he just tightened up and went over, and he had to come to a stop or he was going to pull in front of traffic, and that's just what he had to do there. No damage on that 088. Lived to race another day. And you see Patrick Spangler, he was involved in an early accident. Not able to make up any ground. Jeff Barker also involved in that accident. Only able to make up an extra spot. So it is hard to pass out here tonight in the street stock division. Is up front, Anthony Morano really setting the pace. Blake Chapman in the best position to make a pass, though. You know, I always say that. Brandon Templeton could possibly be there as well. You need a little bit of a gap here. And, you know, the car in front of you can't be right on line like it's a train car. You need that little bit of gap, or you're not going to be able to throw a slider for a pass. And in these street stocks, it's all about momentum. You're going to need to throw that slider, and you're getting the slider thrown on you. You need to make sure you crack that throttle at the right time and cross under, because momentum is everything. If you do it correctly, you'll have the pass made back before you even go into the following corner, and that's got to be your goal, because you get into a slide job battle, that's not one you want to try to win here. Is Blake Chapman's on the outside. He's looking for a good start. Anthony Morano with a great start here as we're 3 wide looking for P3. Let's take a look at that slide job. Salas here on the bottom. He's looking to get up and maybe rub doors with that 27 as Scooby-Doo Michael Todd went over the edge. He's trying to get back on, and he is going to come back on, but he's going to join in the back of the field here. Blake Chapman slide job for the lead here as it's showtime up front. Anthony Morano here, the Ant-Man. He's going to come back and try to give Blake a little taste of his own medicine here. Slide job through 3 and 4. Blake Chapman in the 20, going to look to counter back here. Gonna get another slider into 1 and 2. The Ant-Man is gonna go over Anthony Morano. Let's see where he comes back on and rejoins here. Got a lot of cars still coming. Not able to rejoin. Still gonna roll around the top, and the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, he's gonna lose a lot of spots. Blake Chapman feeling some heat from that 5. Isaac Salas here. As Isaac's looking to turn this thing up. Remember, he went over the edge earlier. Look at how close these guys are to that cushion through turns 3 and 4. Back into 1, Isaac Salas looking for the lead. Blake Chapman, though, with so much momentum around the top in 1 and 2, Isaac just can't get it done. Blake Chapman flirting with death there in the middle of 3 and 4 is so close. Isaac Salas realizes, hey, I need to build up momentum. I got to go to the top here in 1 and 2. Blake Chapman, though, he has extended that lead, and oh my gosh, Blake, how are you doing what you're doing? Let's see if we can.
The yellow flag is out.
Yellow flag is out, but you know, that just gives you a little taste of how close they are getting up top. As John Morano looks to be the victim here in this caution. John Morano in the 033. You're seeing him in that almost GoDaddy looking machine. He gets a little help from behind from the 56 of Randy Shreves, and well, he's got to work his way back up through the field here if he wants to try to finish on the up here in the top 10. It's Blake Chapman setting the pace out front, but he is feeling some pressure from that 5 of Isaac Salas. As he knows how to get around in these street stocks, that's for sure. Lights are still on, so we're going to go around at least one more time here, but I believe the light should go off this time by... See if the guys get ready to double up here. No, we are going to stay single file for this restart, but we are going to go back green as lights are off on the pace truck. You know, Blake Chapman, he really needs a good start in this 20. Really wants to pull away from this 5 of Isaac Salas. Isaac Salas,
Green
though,
flag, green flag.
good jump, able to stay right behind that 20 of Isaac Salas, of Blake Chapman, and here he comes. Slider for the lead, and the salesman goes over the edge. Isaac Salas turned the burner up, and Blake Chapman couldn't handle the heat. He burnt that popcorn tonight. Isaac Salas, your new leader here through turns 1 and 2 with 9 to go. Battle on for P2 is Brandon Templeton able to clear Clay Christopherson, but Clay Christopherson up 11 spots. He is your hard charger right now, and he's coming quick on that high side through 1 and 2. Clay Christopherson in the mellow yellow ride. Does he have anything for Brandon Templeton for P2? He is all over the back of that 31 through 3 and 4. Here he comes. He's looking to send it in the bottom. Maybe he got a little too sideways there in the slick on entry and just not enough momentum to complete the slide job. Isaac Salas out front, almost a second lead already. Is slide job Salas still running the slide job line. P10 Brandon Templeton just doing enough there to hold on to P2, but man, he feels the pressure from Clay Christopherson as he is still all over the back of that 31 machine. Logan Wentz has Blake Chapman all over the back of him. Remember, Blake Chapman went over a couple laps ago. He was fast. He's trying to fight back, but oh, we had a mistake from our leader, Isaac Salas, and then he goes in there, gets into Clay Christopherson, and oh no, we've got a lot to unpack. We got a lot to unpack here. Let's try to figure out what happened here. Is Isaac Salas, is he going to go over the edge in 3 and 4? Yes, he is. He's going to bounce off the wall. Does a good job of keeping it up there. And now here's where we got to figure out what happened. You know, he just enters in, gets in the grass, and it just tightens up when it gets in the grass. You know, that thing's like ice. It just slides right over. And, man, Clay is not going to be a happy camper as he was hard charger, but you can see it's just Isaac trying to get the lead back. Maybe driving a little over his head. You know, he'll admit that. Not an intentional go in there and wreck him. That's not the type of guy that 5 is. I'm sure he may be looking at a penalty next week, but you know, that's kind of it is what it is. Product of good hard dirt racing in a street stop. Oh, appreciate the shout out, Mr. Bill Calder. Let us know, you know, if you're out there watching, who you're rooting for tonight. Got the street stocks here at Lernerville. Next we got the 360s and back-to-back 410 races here. We're gonna go run one at Lernerville, and then we're gonna hop in the jet real quick and go back to Abbottstown, PA. We're gonna run a little 410 there at Lincoln for the makeup feature.
Green flag, green
here
flag.
We go, we're off. We're gonna have 3 to go, I believe. Yes, 3 to go here. As slide job Isaac Salas, he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to regain this lead. Gonna look below the 31 here. Big run going down the backstretch. Can he think about a big send here in 3 and 4? The 31 of Brandon Templeton's going to shut the door here, going by the starter stand. Isaac Salas just doesn't have the momentum here as they race throughout the field. He's going to send it in and cut the grass here again as he almost parks it on the 31 as Brandon Templeton's got to go up and over to avoid the 5. And man, Isaac Salas almost forced the hand there of the 31 as the white flag's out. Brandon Templeton, he's going to remember that. He's going to send it in big here into 3 and 4. They're going to rub going down the backstretch. He's going to get into Isaac Salas. Let's see what happens here. Final time through 3 and 4. Brandon Templeton almost goes over. Does Trent Verstraeten steal it at the line? Isaac Salas holds on, but man, Trent Verstraeten made it interesting there at the end. Isaac Salas, Trent Verstraeten, and Brandon Templeton round out your podium. My, oh my, what did we just witness? A lot to unpack there. Let's see if we can bring you up. There we go, your feature results. Sean Green coming home in 4th, Randy Shreves 5th. We're gonna try to give you guys here a little scenery while we read this off here. But Randy Shreves 5th, the Brewerton Beast gonna bring it home 6th, John Morano 7th, Clay Christopherson 8th, the Salesman Blake Chapman 9th, Corey Denson 10th, and the rest of the field is gonna go as follows: Michael Todd, Anthony Morano, Logan Wentz, Patrick Spangler, and Andy Patton rounding out the field in 15th. So we're gonna see if we can't maybe let these guys make their way on up here and see if we can't get a little information out of these guys here. Maybe pick the brain of this 31 who brought it home in P3. Right now, I only see one guy in there. Now I see 2. We've got Trent and Isaac. Maybe we'll give Brandon here another minute or so. But man, what a battle for those guys on the last lap. And I mean, it would almost be a disservice, I guess, if while we're waiting on him, I didn't bring out these final couple laps between these two. It's worth another showing, that's for sure here. That was actually Brandon Templeton there. He goes up over the bump, and that was what allowed Isaac Salas to make the move there. We're not seeing Brandon, so we're just gonna go straight into P2 here, Trent. I'm not seeing Brandon come up here, man. Hey, heck of a job, dude. Where did that P2 come from? Almost a win.
Yeah, I don't know. They kind of started getting into it there on the last lap, and pretty much seen Isaac look like he was going to come sideways down the backstretch, come in on that last lap. So I just kind of stuck to the bottom and was going to see if I could steal it. But he got me by a little bit. So props to him, and good racing all around.
Yeah, heck of a finish. You guys going 3 wide through 3 and 4 there to get the white, or, coming to the checkered. And, man, you almost stole the show on the bottom. But, Trent, hey, dude, that's got to be a good showing here. A couple guys on the top of the point sheet didn't show up. And, Randy Shreves with not the best point night. So if you're doing some point racing, it's a good night to finish P2.
Yeah, not so much going for points, but, yeah, it was overall was a good night. Just haven't ran street stocks in probably about a year and a half, so it just was nice to switch it up a little bit and have a little bit of fun.
Well, hey, hell of a job here tonight, Trent. Who you want to thank on that P2, my man?
Just my teammates at Venom Racing, Dean at Super Dirt Car Series, and Roger and everyone for putting on the league, and you for broadcasting.
Appreciate it, Trent. Hell of a job, man. We're going to see you in the 360s here?
Yeah.
All right. Good luck, brother.
Thank you.
That's going to be your P2 finisher, Trent Verstraeten, and we're going to bring up your winner here. And, Isaac, Quite the excitement here for us tonight. You had the lead, you drove off the edge, and, talk to us a little bit about what happened after that.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be the most popular of wins, I can tell you that. Uh, I came off the edge and tried to get back on behind Clay and Brandon, and then I ended up smoking the grass going into one, and then it pushed me up into Clay. And I already know he's not happy with me, so I apologize, Clay. Like I said, just I hit that grass and it sent that thing all the way through. And then the restart, I mean, I timed the restart pretty well. Went down the bottom 1 and 2 and left Brandon in the lane because I knew there's no way that with how slow I entered that corner that I was going to be clear of him. And looked like for me it looked like I left him a lane and looked like he just kind of overdrove a little bit, and that outside kind of costing him a little bit there. And then from there, I had no idea what to do. I thought Trent was going to get me on the bottom on that last lap, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, that was close. And, going back to the Brandon thing, the Clay thing, I said the exact thing you just said when it happened. Dude, that's just a case of you're trying to go get the lead back too quick, and you hit that grass by accident and the thing just locks up and slides. Definitely, not your best move, dude, but we've all been there, and you could see was no malicious intent from that. So, I wouldn't worry about it. You know how these street stocks are going to go. He'll probably give you one back here by accident even. That's just kind of a product of these slow, big-bodied cars there. But, Brandon, he may be, a little upset you didn't give him a whole bunch of room, man. But, dude, 3 to go, on a restart, you can't leave the bottom open like that in one of these things. And, he did, and you threw it in there and got the win, man. Sometimes you got to use the elbows a little bit in these things. And, dude, no harm, no foul. I think you did a hell of a job here tonight. So who you want to thank on that win here?
Yeah, thanks, Zach. I mean, like you said, there's no malicious intent for sure. Like, I love those guys a lot, so it sucks when I cost them a good finish. But yeah, like, thanks to Venom Racing, it's good to see Trent somehow climb his way back up there and about beat me at the end. Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs for that cool car. Tommy Gun Customs, RSN Trackside, Mission 22, and then my Grant's Top Notch Trucking. Thank you for the broadcast. Thanks Coast to Coast for the league, and beyond that, thanks like my friends, my family, and Kelsey for watching. I'm gonna try to catch the second one. I'm trying to make food right now. Awesome, thanks, Zach. You too.
And I just realized that nothing I was saying was going over the broadcast there. Hopefully the end of the Isaac interview did, but I doubt it. And now they're going to hear both of us talk, Brandon. But run us through those last couple laps here.
Just total chaos broke out. I was running like 4th or 5th, and that's kind of the way I thought it was going to play out. And then I don't know what started it. I think maybe Isaac slipped off, and there was just people started doing sliders and total chaos. So, but that it was a good finish. It turned out pretty fun. Isaac rode me on that last restart. He actually got me completely sideways, pushing me on the front straight. So that was kind of crazy. But that's stock car racing, grassroots. That's what you're going to have. That's what we love. So that's what we come out and do the stock cars for, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and Brandon, it's interesting you say that. I literally had just switched to an aerial camera on that restart. I did not notice him doing that on that restart live. I was in a different camera, and yeah, man, he was all over you. He almost, timed that one a little too perfectly there, and, able to get you a little uncomfortable and open up the door, man. But at the end of the day, and these things, you're gonna use the fenders a little bit, and I'm sure you'll be able to get him back here one of these nights.
Yeah, that was good hard racing. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, obviously, I'd like to get a top 5, top 3 win, but in these things, if you can finish at a track like Lernerville, where people are sliding off the top, and that's the fast lane, you know, just move on and take what you can get, and be happy that you survived it.
Yeah, you know, all in all, man, good run for that 31 here. You know, we're watching you just slip over that edge, man. But dude, that was so much fun to watch. And Brandon, I'm looking forward to see what more you can do here in the sprint cars tonight, my man. Who you want to thank on that podium spot?
Yeah, I got to thank the Dirt Track Bank, Malvern Bank, Got Your Six Racing Network, Joe Halter, Hammer Down Racing Team, Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Hogan Landscape and Lawn Care. You guys for doing the stream, and everyone watching at home, and everyone that runs the league. Thanks for helping out and making it happen.
Well, hey, hell of a job, Brandon. And like I say, man, looking forward to a few more of these interviews here tonight.
Thanks.
And that's going to be your P3 finisher. Brandon Templeton is, you know, quite the eventful turn 4 here. He starts to feel the pressure from Logan Wentz. Logan maybe backs out of the throttle or cranks the wheel a little bit there to avoid wrecking Brandon. And you see how close he was to just locking down P3. Sean Green almost got him at the line, but hey, if you thought this was a good one, we got a whole lot more in action for you here tonight. So we're going to take a quick break, stick around, and we will be right back here at Lernierville Speedway.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion, trying to be a bit of a
hiatus, so let's get tonight when we talked about it.
these dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Zach Chapman, part of Shaggy TV, and here we are for race number 2 of 4 here tonight. Well, race number 2 of 3 at Lernerville, and then, like I say, we're going to hit back up Lincoln because iRacing had some technical difficulties last Wednesday. We missed a 410 feature, and nobody wants to miss a feature, so we're going to make it up tonight, and we're going to head back down the road to Abbottstown, PA. And, you know, whenever we do a race at Lincoln, I can always sleep in my bed that night. I'm only about 15 minutes from there, so that's always nice to come home. And, man, we got a big show here tonight. 22 cars at Lernerville, as there you see. Checkered flags out on the practice session, and we are going to go qualifying here at Lernerville. 22 cars. Everybody's going to make the show, but man, it is going to be an eventful feature here, I'd imagine, with 22 cars. Let's see who we get out on the track here first for practice. Looks like we've got the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, here as he's pulling out. Oh, he gives us a big wheelie, the 39. Look at that. He's ready to fire off. Let's go, he says. I'm ready to play, Patrick Spangler. Lap number 1 here. He's going to run that middle bottom. Let's see what he does. He's going to slide up to the top in turns 2. Run the top there, 3 and 4. He's going to run the lip here. Let's see what this time looks like. Patrick Spangler is going to move to the top of the charts with a 13.97. Bob DeGood taking over pole time with a 13.82. And the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker, is going to join him on the front row right now with a 13.84. Patrick Spangler slower his second lap around. But I'll tell you, it wasn't the Ant-Man Anthony Morano 13.82. The Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker, picks it up. 13.79, and Brad Wade is going to run an almost identical time here. Let's see, can Brad Wade pick up any time his second time around? No, he can't. The salesman, Blake Chapman, he's going to take the pole away from the Brewerton Beast, and he's going to do it by almost 1/10 of a second. The salesman came ready to pop some popcorn here after his bad luck in the street stock race. Ross the Boss Corinna making his way in, joining us here, and he's going to qualify P6. And you know, we went so quick into the feature that into the event here that I didn't even get to give a huge shout out to the sponsor. And I'll tell you what, there's going to be so many cars throughout this season. If you go back and look at broadcasts where I talk about, oh, what an amazing paint job. Man, I really wish I had a paint job like this. I can tell you over half of them are from Velocity Race Designs, and those boys do an excellent job on their paint jobs. So if you are looking for a paint scheme, hit up the boys at Velocity Race Designs, because that's just excellent work. And they always say, if you want to look good, or if you want to play good, you got to look good. Look good, play good, and Velocity Race Designs will get you looking good. I can't guarantee you they'll get you racing good, but they will get you looking good out there. And rolling off here on the pole for heat race number 1, we've got the 117 of Michael Todd, and is outside in the 56. Got Randy Shreves. Inside of row number 2, you got the 7 of Bob the Good, and is outside this salesman, Blake Chapman, in the 20. Ryan Moore Sr. is going to roll off on the inside of row number 3, and rounding out the field tonight in the 302, we've got John Rayner. Here, the pace car is going to roll off. We're going to go through turns 3 and 4, and the flag is in the air. Michael Todd is ready to get our 360 race in action started here at Lernierville Speedway. Michael Todd going to send it in 1 and 2, but he's got company on the outside. That 56 of Randy Shreves. And Blake Chapman, he's got the fishing line hooked on that 56. He's looking for a tow on by. Blake Chapman from 4th to 2nd in 1 lap. Oh, contact. Brian Moore Sr. He's able to save it after slight contact from Michael Todd. Now he's side by side with Bob DeGood. Bob DeGood looking for that final transfer spot, but they're all going to make the show here tonight, so settle down, boys. Blake Chapman looks for it, and Randy Shreves shuts the door in that 56. Blake Chapman says, not this time, Randy. I'm going to send it in. I'm going to park it on you. Randy Shreves doesn't get out of the throttle, and he's going to pay the price for that one. Well, what more can you expect after you slam the door on a guy? Double sticks in the air, 2 to go for Blake Chapman in the 20. John Rayner able to get around Brian Moore Sr.'s. Brian Moore Sr. in the infield. He's having a lot of trouble. White flag in the air this time. Final lap for Blake Chapman. He's going to go down the backstretch, sail off into turns 3 and 4, and he's going to be looking for the final flag. It's in the air. Blake Chapman's going to start on the pole for your feature tonight. Second's going to be Randy Shreves, Michael Todd 3rd, Bob the Good 4th, John Rayner 5th, and Brian Moore Sr. He pulled it in the pits. He's not going to complete the final lap here at Lernierville heat number 1. He got tired. He had to put the flag away. So we are still waiting. There we go. Waiting for it to roll over here. Is starting on the pole for heat race number 2. Sponsored by Regency Home Inspections. It's going to look a little something like this. Logan Wentz is going to start on the pole, and is outside. We've got Cale Nisley in the 23. Inside of row number 2, we've got Ross the Boss Corrington is outside in the 513, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Rounding out the field tonight in row number 3, we have the 91 of Corey Denson and the 31 of Brandon Templeton. Not going to make the grid here. So only 5 cars going to make the call here in heat race number 2. Logan Wentz in that 118.
Green.
For a good start here in heat race number 2. And, probably not the start he wanted. His contact early with Cale Nisley as he tried to send it in, but Cale didn't give him any room. Oh, big send from Ross the Boss, but he had to keep her down on the bottom. As he's sailing off into 1 and 2, he's going to trim the grass a little bit with that left front. Logan Wentz looking for a big counter on the high side, going through 3 and 4, but Ross the boss has it on the bottom. Side by side at the line, Ross Corinna has it. Ross has enough room to slide up, but he doesn't want to. He likes that bottom in 1 and 2, and he's going to move up to the middle here in 3 and 4 as Logan Wentz is going to close that gap. Logan Wentz in the 118. He's going to cut some grass down there this time by, and Ross Corinna not feeling much pressure from that 118 as Corey Denson just went out of the park. Cale Nisley with a little contact going on the front stretch with the 513 of Jeff Barker, and now all of a sudden here, final flag in the air, white flag. Ross Corinna's got a big lead. Coming out of turn 2, you can see the lead Ross Corinna has is he's going to send it into 3 and 4, checkered flag in the air, and he's going to be heat race number 2 winner, followed by Logan Wentz, Jeff Barker, Cale Nisley, Corey Denson, and Brandon Templeton. Heat race number 3 is going to be sponsored by Mauer Farm Management, and it's going to look a little something like this. Sean Green in the 271 is going to roll off on the pole and is outside the 39, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. Superman Kurt Schatzer is going to roll off P3 and is outside Brad Wade in the 814. Rounding out the field tonight in the 831, we have Tyler Flynn. Superman Kurt Schatzer, he's been very fast here in the hometown here. Has got to keep an eye on that 218. Should have one more heat race after this, I believe. Sean Green in that 271 is going to lead us to the green flag here. His green flag is waving. It's out. We're ready to race. Sean Green in the 271 is going to throw a slider quick on Patrick Spangler, and that opens the door on the bottom for Superman. He's got the cape on early, trying to fly on the bottom. Oh, Patrick Spangler had to get out of it and look to the bottom. Here is now Tyler Flynn. He's looking to go from 5th to 1st here in 2 laps. Tyler Flynn, good night. Kurt Schatzer's got him back out of the throttle as Tyler Flynn gets a little loose coming out of turn 2. And that puts Patrick Spangler in a position to maybe look for the middle for P2 here. Patrick Spangler, not enough room to complete that slider. He's got to hold it down on the bottom under the 218 of Kurt Schatzer. He's going to cut some grass in 3 and 4. He's going to lose it. Oh, hold on to it, Patrick. Kurt Schatzer now firmly in 2nd. Got to see if he can go run down the 831 of Tyler Flynn. Tyler Flynn able to go up 4 spots here. His white flag in the air. Final time around Lernerville. You're going to watch him send it into turns 3 and 4, and now we're going to watch Tyler Flynn take the checkered flag for heat race number 4. Followed by Kurt Schatzer, Brad Wade, Patrick Spangler, and Sean Green. Wow, what a race. Any one of those, or that heat race number 3, excuse me. This is heat race number 4. And heat race number 4 is going to look a little something like this. We've got the Bassman Roger Craig starting on the pole and is outside in the 051. Clay Christopherson inside of row number 3. We've got the General Andy Patton and is outside. The Ant-Man Anthony Morano. Rounding out the field in your 2nd place finisher in the street stock race earlier this evening, we have the 088 of Trent Verstraeten. As Roger Craig gets ready to lead us to the green here for our final heat race of the night at Lernierville Speedway. Bassman sees that green flag high in the air, and he's waiting for him to wave it. He's gonna go. We're off racing at Lernierville Speedway. The Bassman in the 747 with a good run through 1 and 2, able to slide up in front of second place Clay Christopherson. He's gonna leave the door open though on entry to 3 and 4. He's gonna float up on exit. Roger Craig, he gets a little sideways into 1 and 2. He's able to keep her rolling. Gonna lose 2 spots though as he fights back for P2 and P1. Can he get it done? We're gonna go to the Chapman Racing drone cam here and watch this side-by-side action as Clay Christopherson looks to pull away with the lead here as the Ant-Man Anthony Morano looks to the outside of the Bassman Roger Craig. Anthony Morano! Roger almost shut the door but left him just enough room. And Anthony Morano made that fit. He shrunk down like Ant-Man. Side by side for P3, we've got the General and the Bassman. Can Andy Patton think about sending it in here to turns 1 and 2? He's going to go through the grass. He's going to tighten up. He's got to get off the throttle. Final flag in the air, this time by for Clay Christopherson, as we've got one time around here at Lernierville Speedway. Clay Christopherson in the 051 found the lead early, and now he's trying to find that checkered flag. Final time through 3 and 4, it's in the air. Heat race number 4 winner, Clay Christopherson in the 051, followed by Anthony Morano, Roger Craig, Andy Patton, and Trent Verstraeten. We're going to go to a quick warm-up break here, and we'll be right back with your feature racing action. Don't go anywhere.
They're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses of man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. Here come the Extreme Speed TV Coast to Coast Racing League Sprint Cars in the Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville National. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Race, drive, green flag, showtime, the Knoxville Nationals underway.
The Coast to Coast Racing League, in partnership with the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, Dylan Westbrook Racing, and Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding, are proud to present the 5th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals for the Steve King Foundation. July 22nd to July 25th. 4 days of Knoxville action using the actual Knoxville National scoring system. Over $2,200 in payouts and prizes. $15 for Coast to Coast members, $20 for non-Coast to Coast members with a max I rating of 3,000. All proceeds go directly to the Steve King Foundation. Feel free to donate more. Open setup 360s with all races at the Knoxville Raceway. The event will be open to the first 100 drivers. All races will be broadcasted on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. For more info, log on to www.c2crl.com. It's showtime.
We are back at Lernerville Speedway, excuse me, and practices or warm-ups are coming to an end. You see Patrick Spangler, Kurt Schatzer, Blake Chapman, your top 3, and we're going to get ready for a little feature racing action here at Lernierville Speedway, and the starting grid is going to look a little something like this. Starting on the pole, it's going to be the salesman, Blake Chapman, into his outside. We've got Ross the Boss Corinna inside of row number 2. You've got the Tyler Flynn into his outside, Clay Christofferson. Inside of row number 3, we've got Randy Shreves in the 56 and his outside in the 118, Logan Wentz. Inside of row number 4, we've got Superman Kurt Schatzer and his outside, the Ant-Man Anthony Morano. We skipped one extra row there, so rolling off on the inside of row number 5, we've got Michael Todd and his outside, the Brewerton Beast Jeff Barker. Inside of row number 6, you've got the 814 of Brad Waite and his outside, the 747, the Bassman Roger Craig. Rolling off in the Baker's Dozen spot, we've got Bob the Good and his outside, Cale Nisley. Rolling off on the inside of row number 8, we've got the high side banger, Patrick Spangler and his outside, the General Andy Patton. Inside of row number 9, we have John Rayner and his outside. We've got Corey Denson. And the rest of the field is going to go like this. Sean Green, 19th. Trent Verstraeten, 20th. Brian Moore Sr. and Brandon Templeton rounding out the field. Brandon Templeton not going to make the call here tonight for the feature event. We're going to go around one more time here before... Where is... Oh, okay. The grid was adjusting a little bit. I was wondering what was going on. It had... Blake Chapman and Ross Corinna, you see there listed in 20 at some position. That will fix itself, but man, that had me a little sketched out here. We're going to go up to the starter stand for this green flag, and we're going to watch all the action here and see how cautious they take it as the green's in the air, ready to fly here at Lernierville Speedway. As they branch out here we go at Lernierville, side by side, 3 wide through at Lernierville, and we've got a guy around in the back, Trent Verstraeten. There you see him come up through the field. Let's go back and take a look and see if we can see what happened with Trent. Go in the aerial cam here. Ooh, Trent just goes down, and at the same time, I believe... Couldn't tell who that was coming up, but yeah, just 2 guys fighting for the same line here. SDK doesn't want to behave here, but out front, we know it's the salesman, Blake Chapman. Not sure what is totally going on with... that scoring issue, but Blake Chapman and Ross Corinna are in 1st and 2nd position right now, and then Tyler Flynn would be in 3rd. So hopefully that ends up fixing itself here, as that could cause some chaos here for the podium. Beautiful weather here in Lernierville tonight. If you watched the retreads race last night, we were here in Lernierville, and it was cloudy. The rain was getting ready to roll in, but that just made for a fast track tonight. And these guys, especially Blake Chapman, Ross Corinna, they're trying to take advantage of that fast track here as the lights are off on the pace truck, and we will be going green this time by. The salesman, Blake Chapman, is ready to show everybody what he's got. Good restart here as he's able to separate a little bit from Ross Corinna. They still don't like showing Blake and Ross at the front. We know. There we go. Is it going to rotate now? Give us a correct order here, SDK. There we go. Now we've got the salesman at the top. We all knew where he was. These two are just pulling away right now out front, but back in the pack, Anthony Morano, he is trying to get something done. Logan Wentz in that 118 right in front of him on the high side. They're trying to work around Superman Kurt Schatzer. And caution is out. Caution is out. Possibly Cale Nisley. Let's see here. As Cale goes up and over. Could have been the reason for the caution. I doubt it. John Rayner, it said, was also involved in a little spin. Let's see if we can find anything. That is going to be the reason for the caution, 100%. Let's go back and let's take another look at this here. We're going to go in an aerial cam. Check out that Chapman Racing drone camera. Going to see if we can get a little sense of what happened. Yeah, he just comes down off the wall and then gets some help from Brian Moore Sr. Know where he could go. He can't react that fast. Well, caution's out here at Lernerville. His lights are still on, so we're going to go around one more time here. You know, if you're out there watching, you haven't signed up for the Knoxville Nationals yet, make sure to do so. I'm going to be running these puppies, the 360s, at Knoxville. It's a great charity event, and really looking forward to being on the call with Marty Cicala for that one. So make sure if you haven't signed up, get your butt out there, sign up. It's for a great cause, the Steve King Foundation. And, you know, speaking of the Steve King Foundation, that Steve King Foundation pace truck shut the lights off, and here we go. We're going to go back racing. Blake Chapman sees that green up in the air, and here he comes. Going to get a good jump, Blake Chapman. Ross Carina going to go straight to the high side. Try to follow that 20 around the speedway. Blake Chapman just so quick up top. Randy Shreves here. He's looking for that final podium spot. He's looking to the outside of Tyler Flynn. Randy Shreves in the 56 here. He comes. Tyler Flynn looking to counter back, though, is not going to have enough momentum. Randy Shreves going to have him at the line. Anthony Morano coming through the field here. We're going to go into turns 4 this time. We're going to listen to them all roar by.
The yellow flag is out.
As you hear, caution's out, so driver's going to slow down here. Not too sure what the caution was for here, as we're going to go back, try to look, possibly Michael Todd and Trent Verstraeten. Let's see. Michael Todd in that mystery machine. He's going to go in there. Slight contact with Moore Verstraeten, cut the grass, and whoa, the mystery machine does a wheel stand, keeps on rolling, but caution's going to come out. Caution number 3 here at Lernierville Speedway. This driver's really trying to get as many guys as they can here on this restart. Not worried about really, being conservative, and that's leading to a lot of these cautions here. These guys not sure if the lights are going to turn off here on the pace truck this time by. Looks like lights are off, so we should be going green this time by here. Here the pace truck's going to pull off the track, and Blake Chapman's going to look to lead us back to the green flag here for what he hopes is the final restart with the pace that 20 has.
Green flag, green flag.
Blake Chapman with a great jump here. Ross Carina, though, not letting him pull away here is Ross, the boss.
Flag is out.
Caution is out here. Another quick caution here at Lernierville Speedway. Probably Logan Wentz here. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened. Logan Wentz gets into the back of, I believe, Tyler Flynn, and he's going to go around. This man out front, dude, just not able to really showcase his rhythm, and that's what the Clarence, Iowa native needs. He just wants to get some green flag laps, and we know that KSR machine has a lot of speed, and he just needs a chance to show it. Same with Ross Corinna here. The boss knows that he might have something for that 20 of Blake Chapman, but he doesn't have any time with all these cautions. He needs a green flag run. Light's still on the pace truck. Gonna go around one more time here. You gotta love the sound of race cars here at Lernierville Speedway. Just, man, these track cams really don't do this beautiful place justice. As Blake Chapman looks to lead us back to the green flag here. Blake Chapman looking for a good start here. Ross Corinna, though, going to keep him in his sights here. He knows he might have to make a move early as Ross is going to go to the bottom, but that opens up the top for Randy Shreves. He's not able to make a run. The Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, ripping the lip through 3 and 4. He's got some power in that 32. The Ant-Man trying to get around Tyler Flynn, able to do it this time, going down the backstretch. Is now he's got a front end full of that 56 of Randy Shreves. Anthony Morano going high and handsome through 1 and 2. Let's watch the guys rip the lip in 3 and 4. Anthony Morano, you saw it there, big slider for P3. His big move as he takes the final step of the podium. Randy Shreves trying to answer back, but he's going to keep the car down on the bottom, and the Ant-Man's going to get a big run down the backstretch. The 32 is going to take over that final step of the podium at the line, and now he's got to see if he's got anything for these front 2 guys as Blake Chapman has set sail. He's got a 7/10 of a second lead over Ross the Boss Corinna. Randy Shreves losing positions fast. He's over the edge. Trying to come back on. That was a close call between him and the Bathman of Roger Craig. Roger Craig able to get on by. Bob DeGood makes contact.
The yellow flag is out.
Bob DeGood gets into the side of Randy Shreves, and the 7 goes around. Caution is out at Lernierville Speedway. Let's go ahead and let's go in this aerial cam here as you see the 7 of Bob DeGood. It's a big run on the 56. Floats up a little bit as maybe the 56 is coming down, and it's almost like that earlier caution, you know, just 2 guys fighting for the same spot here at Lernierville, and well, that's going to happen. Blake Chapman out front here. He's going to have should have 9 to go, I believe, whenever we take the green flag. See if SDK can behave itself, but it looks like right now the biggest mover, we have not talked much about this man in the feature. Patrick Spangler in the 39 started 15th up to 5th, so keep an eye on that red 39, the high side banger Patrick Spangler. He wants a podium position this evening. Lights are off on the pace truck, so we will be going green this time by as the pace truck, Steve King Foundation pace truck, will pull off. And Blake Chapman looks to lead the field here to the green flag. We'll have 10 to go.
Green flag, green flag.
Blake Chapman with a good restart. Ross Corinna not letting the 20 check too far out here as he knows he's going to have pressure from that 32. Let's keep an eye on this 39 of Patrick Spengler. Patrick Spengler up 10 spots. He is all over the 051 of Clay Christopherson, and he knows it's time to go. The high side banger, Patrick Spengler going to bang the right rear off the cushion. Hoping it hooks up Clay Christopherson, looking to counter back with a slider of his own. Patrick Spengler going to get a little loose here as he looks to counter back with a crossover. Another slider from this 39. Back and forth, back and forth. Clay Christopherson, he's got enough of a run, but he's going to plant it on the bottom in 3 and 4. He's not going to shut the door. Patrick Spengler, P4. Up front, Ross Corinna has not let Blake Chapman out of his sights. All over that 20, and another caution out at Lernerville. Man. Trying to find out what maybe caused that caution, looking like Tyler Flynn, possibly. Let's take a look here. Tyler Flynn in that 814. He's going to slide in, slide in. He's just going to lose it on his own here. Yeah, he does. Tyler Flynn just loses it all by himself there in the bottom on 1 and 2. You know, that's easy to do when the track's as slicked up as it is and you're really trying to send it in. You maybe don't have a lot of wing in it and trying to go as fast as you can down the straightaway. It shows how quick you can lose one of these 360 sprints here. Is, you know, you think you can lose one of these quick. Just wait till these boys put the 410 motors in it here and start ripping the lip in a 410. You're going to see quite a lot of action here in that 410 feature. But lights are off on the pace truck. We're going to go green this time by. Blake Chapman should get 5 to go. Right now, your biggest mover is still Patrick Spengler up 11 spots. Brian Moore Sr. up 10 spots. He started 21st here tonight, so good on Brian Moore Sr. His green flag's out. Blake Chapman's going to lead him to the line here. We're actually getting 6 to go here, not 5 to go, but Patrick Spengler, he took over P3 from Anthony Morano in turn 1. Where did he come from? The high side banger, Patrick Spengler. Oh, you saw Jeff Barker almost get into the 218 of Kurt Schatzer, but we're going to go back up here to the front. 4 to go this time by. You could put the top 3 under a blanket. Here he comes. He's going to send it in. Ross Corinna. Blake Chapman with a perfect counter. He's going to have to throw in a slider of his own here as they go through 3 and 4. Ross Corinna, does he have an answer here? 3 to go. He's going to send it in. He's going to park it on the high side. Blake Chapman countering back. My, oh my, Patrick Spengler trying to get involved in the 39. Double sticks in the air, 2 to go. Patrick Spengler going to send it in the 2 for 1. Going from 3rd to 1st. They're both going to counter back. That opens the door for Ross Corinna. Wow, we got a show here. White flag in the air. Blake Chapman on the bottom. We got 3 guys who can take this thing. Coming out of turns 2. Final time. Going down the backstretch. 3 wide going into 4. Ross Corinna sends it in on the bottom. Patrick Spengler trying to answer. Blake Chapman going to take it at the line. What a finish here at Lernierville Speedway in the 360s. My, oh my. Let's go back and try to digest that white flag lap. Holy crap. Finish of the year here in the Hometown Heroes is let's try to digest what happens here before we talk to anybody. Ross Corinna is the leader here at the white flag. He shuffles back to third. Patrick Spangler's going for a big slider on the bottom. Can't shut the door on Blake. Blake's got the momentum going into turns 3. He shuts the door, not knowing that Ross was down there probably. Makes Patrick feel real uncomfortable, and it just, Ross couldn't float up. Blake did what he had to do, won it at the line, and my, oh my, race of the year for the Coast to Coast Racing League is, you know what, we're just going to go back. I'm gonna shut my mouth, and we're just going to watch this thing. White flag. What a finish, man. These boys put on a show, and once again, the salesman doesn't disappoint, gets the win at the end. Let's give these guys a minute to catch their breath here. Pull them up in the booth. What a finish here. Patrick Spangler, race of the year. My, oh my. Talk us through the final 2 laps.
Yeah, that was insane. I knew Ross and Blake were going to lose some momentum sliding each other, and then I just got a good run out of 4. So I threw that Hail Mary into 1 and 2, and I didn't know if I was going to clean them out or clear them, but I ended up clearing them. It was fun.
Yeah, you had to have a certain body part of yours pucker there going into turn 3 on the last lap, man. When Ross came in on the bottom and Blake kind of gave you no room up there up top. Were you worried you were going to go over the edge?
A little bit. I mean, I think we were all touching, and we all got 0x, I think. So that was a fun battle.
Yeah, man, definitely, Patrick, race of the year. You want to come on the top step in a battle like this, but damn, dude, a P3, what a race, man. Who you want to thank?
It's like those guys, I mean, that's why we run leagues, not officials, because you won't get that in officials. Yeah, that was fun. I want to thank you for the awesome broadcast. Rod for run the league, Velocity Race Designs for getting these broadcasts and sponsoring the Hometown Heroes. Ross and Blake for that fun race. Dan Uncle back home watching, and Triangles Racing.
Well, hell of a run, Patrick, man. Looking forward to seeing you do some damage here in the 410s.
Yeah, hopefully I won't start in the back.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Speaking of that, I forgot to mention that hard charger. I don't think we give points for that anymore, but hell of a job here tonight, Patrick.
Yep, thanks.
It's going to be your P3 finisher, Patrick Spangler. And, man, now we're going to bring up Ross the boss here. Ross, we got Patrick's take, but holy crap, man. Race of the year, dude. Talk to us about those final couple laps.
Well, first off, it's really fun. Obviously, it's always fun racing with Blake and Patrick. So, a couple of the cleanest guys you can race with. So when you get the opportunity to race like that, it's fun to take advantage of it. I was doing pretty well on the restarts. I was getting a good jump off the bottom and being able to keep up with Blake there. I knew it was either going to be he was going to have to make a mistake or I was going to have to try something. And then all of a sudden the little red car shows up and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. So I think there's a couple sliders thrown here and there, but between all of us and little couple crisscrosses. And luckily we were able to keep it clean and not make too much contact. The last lap there, I was hoping to get a nice run off of 2 and then be able to slide them like I did the previous lap, but got a little bit in the slick and didn't get as good of a run. So I think I might have made a little contact with Patrick there in 3. I apologize for that. But yeah, it was a good race. Nice, fun, clean racing.
Yeah, man, no apology needed for that. I'll tell you what, Patrick was excited to finish 3rd, and man, he basically said the same thing you did. It's awesome when you get a group of 3 guys there running up front that just respect the hell out of each other and will run each other real hard, man, but at the end of the day, clean. And, I know you wanted to win, but Ross, hell of a job finishing P2. You made it exciting. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, obviously Phantom Motorsports guys, Vanderbilt guys, Velocity Race Design, M9 Performance. Obviously, this is a fixed setup, but they do all the open stuff for me. Weichel Sportswear, Power Outdoors, lots of guys, and then everybody at Coast to Coast keeping the league going, and then you for coming on and broadcasting this for us this summer.
Hey, man, no place I'd rather be, Ross. That was I mean, dude, it's crazy. Marty and I had a good one, I think, week 2. But, man, the races just keep getting better and better, and the respect levels between all you guys keeps growing, and it shows, man. So, hell of a job here, and you're going to run some 410s here, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Looking forward to talking to you again here, Ross.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
That's Ross, the boss, Corinna, and he's going to bring it home P2. And now we're going to bring up your winner, Blake Chapman. Man, that had to be one of the most exciting races you've ever been a part of, kid.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I kind of wish it wasn't so much fun. I could have just kind of ran away with this thing, but yeah, I think I just ran the car a little too hard in the first 10, 15 laps because I could feel that the car wanted to slide a bit more on me, and I put the wing back, and it still wanted to do it, so I figured I was in trouble. And Ross was really fast on my tail, and when he got to, I think he just probably picked the wrong corner to slide me, 1 and 2. He slid me. I was able to cross him over in 3 and 4. That slider line actually felt really, really good. So fortunately, he picked to slide me in 1 and 2 when we were going at it a little bit. And then here comes this red car out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh, boy, this is about to get really fun. And I knew going into that last corner there that I had to be throwing a slider and protecting that line. Otherwise, whoever got to it was going to win. And fortunately, I was the lead car, able to control that corner and get to it quickly.
Yeah, man, you had some unfortunate luck in the street stock. We know how easy it is to put that thing over the edge, but kid, you did a hell of a job here, man. You set the pace, and when they put the heat on there at the end, you answered, and we both know the 39 of Patrick Spangler and Ross Corinna, man. They're no slouches, so that was a hell of a win here tonight and probably the most exciting race I've ever seen, so hell of a job, kid. Who you want to thank on the win?
Yeah, I got to thank the family for watching. I got to thank all the guys at the Krite Sim Racing team and the Can-Am Racing team. I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps and Andy at AJ Custom Creations. Got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. They got some of the best stuff out there. You can head over to their website and use code CART, that's C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off of your purchase. I got to thank Ross and Velocity Race Designs for putting this broadcast on, and you for doing it, Shaggy.
Well, hell of a job, Blake, and we're going to see you answer the bell here in the 410s, right?
Yeah, man, hopefully more of the same.
All right, man, good luck. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
It's Blake Chapman, your feature winner here tonight, and, man, what I'm calling race of the year so far. I mean, that was just unbelievable. I mean, this finish right here, we're watching it play out. This is them coming to the checkered flag. Unbelievable. I mean, Patrick Spangler getting on the binders there, trying to do something. The Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, creeping back up in the picture there. I mean, we had arguably 4 cars with a little bit of contact there between the front 3 that could have won that thing in turns 3 and 4. And what a show. We're looking for some more good battles carrying over here into the 410 race. So we're going to take a quick break. Stick around, and we'll be right back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus.
So, let's get... Tonight we'll be talking about it.
As we are going to cut the ads a little short tonight, we're running a little close on session times here, so we're going to go straight into qualifying here for the Velocity Race Wraps Designs 410s here at Lernierville Speedway. And I'm going to keep an eye here on Brian Moore Sr. for his opening lap here. This lap, you're seeing people set green-purple. This doesn't count. That first lap, you passed the start-finish line so early that it doesn't count. So here's lap number 1 for Brian Moore. You're going to see some time start to roll in for other drivers. Here is right now Patrick Spangler's at the top of the chart. Now Superman Kurt Schatzer. Let's see what he does for his second and final lap here. Superman looking to get even faster here. Does he? No, he doesn't. He's going to slow down. The high side banger, Patrick Spangler, he is going to find some time, though. And, you know, this guy's going to chain paint jobs on us. That little sucker. Going to be so hard to follow him. He's been changing so many paint jobs recently. Patrick, if you hear this, curse you. The salesman, Blake Chapman, though, he's moving to P2. He was your feature winner in the 360s, and he said he wanted some more. Let's see what he does this time. By 13:32, he's going to slow down. So the salesman is not going to improve. Steven Stewart is not going to improve. As you see, he pulled down into the infield. And right now, Clay Christopherson and Brandon Templeton yet to put in times here. So not sure if they're going to put in a qualifying time. But, you know, trying to be respectful here to all the drivers as well. But, like I say, we are on a time constraint. So, if you have a loved one getting an interview, and I cut it a little short here tonight, it is nothing personal. As, you know, of course, I'm professional. If this thing's a great finish, you know, there's no way you can cut the broadcast short. Or cut the interview short, but we'll play it by ear here, see what happens here. We're going to read you off here the starting grid. Starting on the pole, we got the Bassman, Roger Cragen is outside in the 814. We got Brad Waite. Ross the Boss Corinna is going to roll off on the inside of row number 2 and is outside. Superman, Kurt Schatzer. Clay Johnson is going to round out the field tonight in the 44 machine. Excuse me there, needed to clear my throat a little bit, but Roger Craig, the Bassman, he's starting on the front row here. He knows how hard it can be to pass here at Lernierville, and if he can get good runs here coming off the corner, sticking it in the middle bottom, he is going to be hard to get around here in this feature event. Shout out to my buddy Kevin out there watching the broadcast. Appreciate the love, my man. We're off. Green flag and trouble for Roger Craig right off the bat. Not sure what happened. Inside wall. That's going to ruin Ross's race here, but Brad Waite, he don't care. He's off to the races, and Superman Kurt Schatzer, he's right behind him. That 218's got his sights set on that 814, and he is ready to roll. Kurt Schatzer ripping the lip here with this 410. Coming off of turns 2 here. Kurt Schatzer's going to look to take a big run here, maybe a shot. No, he's going to stay on the outside here in 3 and 4. Going to rip the lip. Get how close he gets to that wall coming out of 4-3 to go. Brad Waite feels the fire from that 218 as we only got 3 cars rolling right now, and you got 2 of them on the screen battling for the lead here with 2 to go. Superman Kurt Schatzer trying to do all he can do, but he is running out of time here. Throws the slider. Can Brad Waite counter back? Brad Waite's going to counter back with a slider of his own as Kurt Schatzer's got one final look here through 3 and 4. Brad Waite's going to shut the door. Not going to be able to get it done. Brad Waite's going to win heat race number 1, followed by Kurt Schatzer, Clay Johnson, Roger Craig, and Ross Carinta. Go ahead and read you off the starting grid here for heat race number 2, and it's going to look a little something like this. Brian Moore Sr. is going to roll off on the pole. Into his outside in the 831, we've got Tyler Flynn. The Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, is going to roll off on the inside of row number 2. And to his outside, your feature winner of the 360s, Blake, the Salesman Chapman. Rounding out the field tonight is going to be Brandon Templeton, and Brandon Templeton did make the call for this one. Wasn't able to make the call in the 360s, but we do have a 31 spotting. You know, they may not have had a full crew here tonight. They may have been worried they weren't going to be able to do the motor swap in time. Only him and a couple guys, and they may have just decided to load that 410 motor up in there early, make sure they were here for this show and the back-to-back double header of at Lincoln here. Coming next is Brian Moore Sr. A little slow on the gun. That's going to allow... Oh, he pulls a wheelie. He pulls a wheelie in front of the Ant-Man, and Brandon Templeton, that's going to break his front end as he goes over the edges. We got another wreck here on lap number 1 to start a heat. Once again, though, big beneficiary is the guy starting 4th. Blake Chapman up 2 spots already, and he can set his sights on the leader in the 831, Tyler Flynn, as he's going to work on the bottom in 3 and 4. Contact! Brian Moore Sr. and the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano's going to call it quits. He's got a lot of damage on that 32 machine. Sailing it off into turn 1. Blake Chapman going to rip that lip, looking for a big run going down the backstretch. Gonna rip the lip in 4. Looking for a little more. Gonna counter, but he just doesn't have a run here with 2 to go. Blake Chapman just hoping that 831 of Tyler Flynn makes a little mistake here. Big run through the middle of 3 and 4 is white flag in the air, final time around. Blake Chapman gonna send it up high, and you gotta think Tyler Flynn's gonna watch for the block here, but no, he's gonna protect the high side. Blake Chapman's going to steal it on the final lap. Heat race number 2 winner, Blake Chapman, followed by Tyler Flynn, Brian Moore Sr., Anthony Morano, and Brandon Templeton. Blake Chapman, kid is nothing short of fireworks here tonight at Lernierville Speedway. Heat race number 3, starting grid. Sponsored by Maurer Farm Management, and I don't feel bad for not naming heat race number 1 as I'm a Gambler Motorsports teammate. Sorry, John. I should have mentioned it. Heat race number 2, sponsored by Regency Home Inspections. One of these days I'm going to get it all right. I'm telling you. Starting on the pole, we've got the 7 of Bob the Good and is outside the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Inside of row number 2, we've got the 117 of Michael Todd and is outside the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. Rounding out the field tonight in the 051, we got Clay Christopherson. Michael Todd in that mystery machine. He's looking for a little more luck than he had in that 360s, that's for sure. Bob DeGood in that 7 getting ready to lead us here to the start.
Green
Flag's flying high. He's going to get a good jump. Brewerton Beast may be caught sleeping a little bit there. He's going to look for a big counter on the outside in 1 and 2, but Bob DeGood's going to shut the door. Patrick Spangler, the high side banger. Here he comes. All of a sudden, it's a 3-car battle going down the front stretch. Patrick Spangler going to look to the inside, going to cut the grass with that left front. Bob DeGood looks to counter back under the 513, but he's got the high side banger there. No room for Bob DeGood. Patrick Spangler's got to keep it down on the bottom. Not enough room for him to slide in. He had a chance there coming out of 2, but he didn't decide to shut the door on that 7. Going to pinch it down, and Bob DeGood going to fight back on the outside. Bob DeGood in that 7 gets a little loose coming off at 2. Allows Patrick Spangler to suck back up on the rear end of that 07. Patrick Spangler, he's got to make a move here as Clay Christopherson looks to go 2 for 1, but he can't get a run coming off at 2. Patrick Spangler, white flag in the air. If he's going to make a move, he's got to do it this time by maybe a little contact with the 7. Makes him get in the wall going down the front stretch. The Brewerton Beast final times through 3 and 4. He's going to be your heat race number 3 winner, followed by Patrick Spangler, Clay Christopherson, and Bob DeGood. Going to lose 2 spots on that final lap. Michael Todd's going to round out the field. Heat race number 4 got a little field here. Only 4 cars, 2 rows. Corey Denson's going to start on the pole, and he's outside. Logan Wentz rounding out heat number 4 here. We've got Andy Patton, the general, and his outside. Steven Stewart in the 29. Here we go. The boys get ready to roll on the track here. You know, we're going to experiment with this one. We're going to use a lot of the track camera this race. Only 4 guys. We're going to see, you know, hopefully they all stay in the picture here, and we can have a good race here with the 4 guys in this event. But Corey Denson looks to lead him to the stripe here.
Green.
Good jump from the 91 of Corey Denson. He's able to choose whatever line he wants here in 1 and 2. Send it in. He's clear ahead there going in. They're going to all rip the lip there in 3 and 4. Corey Denson going to go back to the bottom in 1 and 2. He felt the need to protect and actually possibly pulled away from the 118 of Logan Wentz a little bit here. Battle's heating up for the final podium spot there, even though this is the heat. I don't know why I said, oh, leader gets a little loose in front of Logan Wentz, and that's going to ruin both their nights here, as they're going to have a long way to come back here in the feature. Steven Stewart now inherits a almost 7/10 lead here as the general Andy Patton. He's got some work to do if he wants to pass for that heat race number 4 win position. Let's go on board here with Andy Patton. He kisses the wall a little bit there, does Andy Patton. White flag out, final time around for your leader. As Steven Stewart is going to take the checkered flag, followed by Andy Patton, Corey Denson, and Logan Wentz. There's Corey for the checkered flag. Steven Stewart's going back to the trailer. We're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be right back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
they're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses of man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. Here come the Extreme ECTV Coast to Coast Racing League Sprint Cars in the Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville National. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Race, drive, green flag, showtime, the Knoxville Nationals underway.
The Coast to Coast Racing League, in partnership with the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, Dylan Westbrook Racing, and Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding, are proud to present the 5th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals for the Steve King Foundation. July 22nd to July 25th. 4 days of Knoxville action using the actual Knoxville National scoring system. Over $2,200 in payouts and prizes. $15 for Coast to Coast members, $20 for non-Coast to Coast members with a max I rating of 3,000. All proceeds go directly to the Steve King Foundation. Feel free to donate more. Open setup 360s with all races at the Knoxville Raceway. The event will be open to the first 100 drivers. All races will be broadcasted on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. For more info, log on to www.c2crl.com. It's showtime.
Ooh, you're seeing them collect each other there in 3 and 4, but Ross Corinna up top. Kurt Schatzer, Patrick Spangler, Blake Chapman, and Brandon Templeton, your top 5 there at the end of warm-ups. And we're going to show you your starting grid here once I'm able to. And looks like there it is. Starting on the pole is going to be Brad Waite in the 814, and it is outside the Salesman, Blake Chapman. The Brewerton Beast is going to roll off P3, and it is outside. In the 29 machine, we've got Steven Stewart. Superman Kurt Schatzer is going to roll off on the inside of row number 3 and is outside the 831 of Tyler Flynn. Rolling off on the inside of row number 4, we've got the high side banger Patrick Spangler and is outside the general Andy Patton in the 87. Not sure why that's wanting to jump an extra row every time, but Clay Johnson is going to roll off on the inside of row number 5 and is outside in the 55. We've got Brian Moore Sr. Clay Christopherson is going to roll off in the double 1 spot and is outside Corey Denson. Roger Craig is going to roll off in the Baker's dozen spot and is outside, rolling off 14th, Anthony Morano. Bob DeGood in the 7 is going to roll off on the inside of row number 8 and is outside Logan Wentz in the 118. Rounding out the field tonight, we've got Ross Corinna, Brandon Templeton, and Michael Todd in the 117.
Green, green, green.
Oh, as they shortened it here, that's right, because we're close on time. That was a close one. We're going green here at Lernierville Speedway. Brad Waite with a great jump and caution is out. Clay Christopherson probably. Let's take a look here. That is not what I wanted to click on. We're watching Blake Chapman, so my apologies. Clay Christopherson, we're going to see him in that yellow 051. 44 pulls a little bit of a wheelie. Thought maybe it was clear to go up. And just a little contact there, and that's going to bring out an early caution here at Lernierville. These guys know we got till 9:17. They better get that ball rolling, or we're going to have to dip into the pockets here and make a new session. Brad Waite, he probably, doesn't necessarily mind this caution. We may go to single file since they didn't get a lap in, and realistically, that might be what he wants. And he has the top shelf open. Well, either way now, restart is on the leader, so that's a big benefit to Brad Waite, whereas normally starts here in Coast to Coast are on the green flag. So the fact that he controls this restart now is going to be a big deal, as lights are still on, should go off this time by here at Lernierville. flag man's got it up in the air. We're going to go green this time by. Like I said here, Brad Waite gets a single file start just like he wants here. Gets to control this thing, and he's going to send it off here as soon as he gets in the middle of turns 3 and 4. And here the 814 is going to send it off a little late. And honestly, that's advantage to Blake Chapman and Jeff Barker, those guys. They don't really have to worry about feeling the pressure of timing it. We all go at the same time, and Blake Chapman here looking for the lead in 3 and 4. Brad Waite able to hold it at the line, but Blake Chapman not going away. Side by side going down the backstretch. Can Blake send it in? Blake's going to keep it on the bottom, and we got a new leader at the line. The salesman of Blake Chapman. He's going to look to try to set sail. The Superman, Kurt Schatzer here. He's feeling pressure from Steven Stewart as Steven Stewart's looking down under in 3 and 4. Steven Stewart fighting hard under the high side banger. Patrick Spangler and Superman, Kurt Schatzer. Patrick Spangler looking to try to find a way around both guys here as he's looking a little impatient. Steve, oh! There he goes over the edge, Patrick Spangler. Patrick Spangler able to bring it back on. Oh, caution comes out. Is it early enough that Patrick's going to get some spots back? We'll have to find out. Let's see if Patrick, yeah, okay, he's passing some people. You want to talk about a hero caution? This 39, where did he hide this horseshoe, man? Or, second thought, I don't know if I want to know, Patrick. Let's go back and see what brought out this caution. Possibly Brian Moore Sr. and Brandon Templeton here. It's going to be one of these guys. Let's see, Brian Moore Sr. goes over. Brandon Templeton does the same thing, so yeah, it's gonna be one of those guys that get the caution, and Clay Christophers, Michael Todd goes around there and gives us a little wheelie in the mystery machine. Patrick Spangler, man, he is counting his lucky stars here. He is going to lose a couple spots as some people were able to get to the start-finish line, but not near as bad as that could have been for the high side banger. Blake Chapman, though, in that coveted P1 spot, he's going to be able to go whenever he'd like on this restart. So Jeff Barker, he's in the catbird seat here, sitting P3. This man, the Brewerton Beast, he knows that if he can get a good start here, he can possibly look under that 814 of Brad Waite, and could almost be a free position there for the Brewerton Beast. So he needs a good jump here. Blake Chapman leads us off into turns 3 and 4 here. Green flag in the air. Great jump by the salesman, and good start by the Brewerton Beast. Probably would have liked a little better jump, but he gets the door shut. And all of a sudden, he's the meat in the sandwich here. 3 wide going down the backstretch. The Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker, holding his own there in the middle, but Superman, Kurt Schatzer, he's got the cape on tonight. He's flying high and handsome around the outside. Superman looking to take over this spot at the line, but he's not going to get it as we have another caution here at Lernerville. Looks like the General Andy Patton involved. Let's keep an eye out on this 87 here. He makes contact with Brian Moore Sr. And then I imagine he gets Oh! Who was that? We have to try to find that. Who tried that wreck avoidance? Was that Bob DeGood? No, that was the 40-something, I believe I'm seeing, but I don't see any 40s. Oh, 44, Clay Johnson. So let's go back and look at that again from Clay's point of view here. Andy Patton crashes here. Let's find Clay. We're going to try to go on board here. This is it all happening. He tries to lock it up, but man, he just gets a mirror full and sent off the track here. Blake Chapman, still your leader out front. Ace light still on, so not going green yet. Now, Kurt Schatzer, he seems to have a lot of pace sitting right now in 4th place, but every time the Edders, Pennsylvania man gets a run on that high side, it seems like a caution comes out. And with these 410s, it takes a lap or two to get them up to song. You know, there's a big benefit to going down to the bottom. You can really get it wound up quick. And, I mean, by the time he's really got them going, cautions come out, but green flag is out for your leader, Blake Chapman, here as we're off at Lernierville Speedway. Blake Chapman going down the backstretch here, looking to extend his lead. Patrick Spangler, meanwhile, coming on the bottom, looking under Steven Stewart.
Yellow flag is out.
Oh, caution is out. I think we're going to need that other session, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try and see what happened here. Possibly, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of names here, so possibly a couple things happened, but let's keep an eye out on Tyler Flynn right here. So Flynn contact with Logan Wentz. Logan Wentz then gets real squirrely. Wow, big hit for both of them. We're going to go back and going to try to see what we see from the turn 4 camera here, as that looked vicious. Logan Wentz, here he comes. Hold on. Whoa! Big shot from Logan Wentz. Big shot. Other cars then get involved. Man, I can't believe we didn't get a red flag there. Blake Chapman just anxious to get this thing back and going here as we're 1 to green. Clearly had a fast hot rod here tonight. Was the car to beat in the 360s there for most of it. You gotta wonder, you know, is he maybe too fast a little too early like he was in that 360 as we saw Patrick Spangler, Ross Corinna make their charge up through the field. And, you know, Ross Corinna, he's up 8 spots right now, up to 9th, but he's got a long way to go here. But 15 laps left at Lernierville Speedway. 14 laps left, excuse me, at Lernierville Speedway. Blake Chapman going to protect that bottom from the 814 of Brad Wade here. As you see Brad all over the back of the salesman, Blake Chapman. But look in the bottom of 3 and 4, but Blake with all the momentum coming off of the top shelf. Patrick Spangler able to get by Steven Stewart earlier, if you remember. And now Anthony Morano working on Steven Stewart here. And also the high side banger. Superman Kurt Schatzer, here he comes trying to take over that final step of the podium as him and Jeff Barker going door to door here as we got a car over. Kurt Schatzer, P3 at the line. As the leaders bring him into turn 3 here. Let's watch Blake rip the lip. Superman up on the top shelf. The Ant-Man, Clay Christopherson. Brian Moore getting a little close to death up top. Kurt Schatzer all over the back now of that 814 Brad Wade. He's been able to reel him in. You gotta wonder if Superman can get by that 814, get a little clean air on the front of that thing. Can he run down the 20 of Blake Chapman? But right now, he's got his hands full. Patrick Spangler all over him. He wants that final step of the podium. Here he comes, big slider. You saw him get in the grass. Patrick Spangler with enough to stay under the 218 of Kurt Schatzer, though. Short slider, not enough room to get in. He's going to lose a little speed coming off of 4. Brad Waite, though, getting a little squirrely down the front stretch. That allows both Kurt Schatzer and Patrick Spangler to close on him. The Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, went over the top shelf. Oh, no. Here we go, though. Battle is on for P2. We cannot look away. You got 3 guys, 3 wide almost coming out of the, going into 3. Brad Waite with the advantage. Kurt Schatzer with the big run on the high side. Patrick Spangler trying to mount a charge on the bottom. Looky who. Ross the Boss Corinna up 12 spots up to P5. Oh, man, where did this guy come from? Ross the Boss looking to the high side here. Brad Waite, he's trying to take over P4. He does going down the backstretch. Patrick Spangler gap to the leader. Blake Chapman 2.4 seconds. They need a caution. They are not going to catch the salesman without some help. Blake Chapman coming out of 4. Double sticks in the air. 2 to go here for your leader, Blake Chapman. Patrick Spangler has made not even a dent at all in this lead here. Blake Chapman coming out of turn 4. White flag in the air. Final time by for the salesman. Final step of the podium. This is the biggest battle here. Is Ross the Boss going to look underneath? We're going to go to the starter cam. Blake Chapman here is going to take the win. Ross going to steal the podium spot coming out of 4. Blake Chapman, your winner. Patrick Spangler, P2. Ross Corinna, P3. And you know something? This podium looks awfully familiar to the last one. It's almost like these guys know what they're doing when it comes time for sprint car racing here. As there is your finishing order, rounding out the top 5, Kurt Schatzer and Brad Waite. 6th through 10th, Jeff Barker, Clay Christopherson, Steven Stewart, Andy Patton, Corey Denson, and the rest of your field is going to go as follows. Brian Moore Sr., Roger Craig, Clay Johnson, Anthony Morano, Bob DeGood, Michael Todd, Brandon Templeton, and Logan Wentz. Like I say, these interviews are going to be short and sweet tonight because we've got to get racing in the 410. So we are going to bring up Ross Corinna. And Ross, you know, we got to be short and sweet with this. We got to get into that other session, man. But 2 podiums tonight. Hell of a job. How's it feel?
Good. Yeah, it's always, you know, like I said before, it's always good to race with these guys. Wish I could have seen some more green flag laps there. Maybe try to get to the front a little earlier, but is what it is. Able to pull off the podium on the last turn and head off to the next track.
Yeah, you know, you were so quick, hard charger, but like you said, just ran out of green flag laps, not enough time. But Ross, you show speed, and we're looking forward to seeing some more of it at Lincoln, man. Who you want to thank on the podium?
Oh, yeah. As always, Phantom Motorsports, Lernierville guys, Velocity Race Design, Power Outdoors, M9, RK Farms, everybody at Coast to Coast, and then, as always, you for putting on the show.
Appreciate it, Ross. Hell of a job, man, and I'll let you get some practice in at Lincoln.
Sounds good, thanks.
That's your P3 finisher, and we're going to bring up P2 here. And Patrick, man, I hate to be short and sweet with these things, but you know we're on a time constraint. Hell of a job here tonight, 2 podiums in a row. Do you think you had anything for Blake?
No. I mean, maybe if we got a caution, but we were pulling the same lap time, so taking a miracle there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, by the time you had to fight your way through, it's such a big lead, you're right. You kind of needed the caution, but hey, you know, 2 podiums, got to feel good, man, and you're going to have a lot of momentum here when we load up the 410s and take them down to Abbottstown.
Yep, hopefully we can get some green flag laps in, and thanks for the broadcast again. Roger on the league, Triangles Racing, and Velocity Race Signs for the broadcast here.
Well, hell of a job, Patrick. Good luck in the next one, brother. That's Patrick Spangler. We're going to bring up your feature winner here. And Blake, you know you're one of my favorites, man, but we got to be short and sweet with this. We got to hurry up and load up the trailers and get down to Lincoln, man. But 2 wins in a row. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. You know, track position was definitely key in this one, and felt like I was able to kind of save my stuff there at the beginning, and didn't really even have to use it too much there at the end. I was just making sure I kept it on the track and nice and smooth.
Yeah, you know, I mean, well, when you earn yourself a 2.5 second lead, you know, you have every right to baby it. That was a hell of a performance, Blake, and we're going to see you load up the truck and drive down to Lincoln here?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. Not a fan of the track, but we'll see what we can do.
All righty, Blake. Well, hell of a job, man. Back-to-back wins. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank the family for watching, all the guys at the Krite Sim Racing team and the Can-Am Racing team. Got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps and Andy at AJ Custom Creations. Got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. Got some of the best stuff out there. You can head over to their website and use code CART at checkout for 15% off of your purchase. I got to thank Ross for putting this broadcast on and you for doing it, Shaggy.
A hell of a job, Blake. Looking forward to you seeing if you can pull the 3 for 3 here with the wings.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you.
Alrighty, that's your winner, Blake Chapman, and we're gonna take a real quick break here. I imagine whenever I'm up in the session and loaded, we may cut this video short again and go right back here. But like I say, stick around here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're not going anywhere.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we were talking about it.
We are back in Abbottstown, Pennsylvania, here at Lincoln Speedway. Man, my favorite hometown track for sure. Like may hurt my feelings a little bit. He doesn't like my favorite track, but so what? We'll have to see if he can tame the beast here tonight and go 3 for 3 here in the wing. 'Cause this kid, man, he's been on fire tonight, but somebody who might have an answer for him, he can get a little better qualifying effort, is this man, Ross Corinna. He has had a lot of speed here in the sprint cars tonight, just hasn't had necessarily the benefit of a good starting position, so he's looking for a little change here at Lincoln. he's running what I like to call that Anthony Macri line, and now here, there he goes. He's catfishing the bottom, little Danny Dietrich style. He's running a little mixture, and to see guys, you know, find success here, getting on the brakes, going into turn one, really binding it up, running the bottom. It's a little awkward corner, and it's one of them that with the power of the 410, there he goes going for it. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Power this 410 has, it's a real beneficial line, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ross go up the time charts here after running this line. Last time by, he was 3/10 quicker than his previous laps, but I'm sure the track has lost a little bit of steam, but I think we're going to see guys qualify down there. Jeff Barker, the Brewerton Beast here. Get somebody else. Corey Denson. He doesn't get the most camera time. He's kind of a newer guy here. Let's get this 91 on the screen a little bit. Victory Fuel 91. Let's switch over to the Bass Man, Roger Craig. That Mission 22 on his wing. Ross Corinna going hunting a little bit. They're doing a little bass fishing. Ross Corinna high and handsome in 1 and 2. Going to look to the bottom in 3 and 4. He's under Roger now. Going to throw that slider into 1 and 2. Going to shut the door on the Bassman. The Bassman's going to counter underneath going down the backstretch. He's going to get back by the boss, and he's going to say, hey, I don't want to get all the good racing out here. We got 24 seconds left in practice here, and then we'll roll in qualifying for tonight's final feature event here. Makeup race at Lincoln Speedway. And you know, if anybody's staying in town tonight, we got a wonderful golf course right out there over top of the backstretch. Don't get a good view of it, but the Bridges golf course, wonderful golf course. And best thing about playing golf there on a Saturday afternoon is you get to hear the motors fire up as you're finishing up, you know, on like hole 16. Oh man, it's a beautiful course out there at the Bridges. We're gonna get ready for qualifying here at Lincoln Speedway. First on the track looks like Bob DeGood's coming out here. Patrick Spengler's already out there. Patrick Spengler's a little further in the lap. Let's go with him so we can try to get more people. Patrick Spengler, he's going to bang that lip in 3 and 4. There's no reason not to. You want all the speed you can coming to the start-finish line. Now, here's where I'm anxious. So, lap 1, he's going to go to the high side. Now, he'll commit to this high side the whole way through the lap. Lap number 2, this is where it's going to get a little interesting. Okay, so he's going to experiment with the bottom here. He had purple sector 1, but just lost so much time running the high side. I mean, purple sector 2, but lost so much time running the high side in sector 1. Patrick Spengler, where's this going to put him? To the top of the charts, the high side banger, Patrick Spengler. Ryan Moore coming to the line here. Does he get faster? No, he doesn't. Yellow, yellow. Let's watch Blake Chapman here. The General Andy Patton moves to the top of the charts. Blake Chapman, he's going to be green. He's quicker. Here, let's see what he does in Sector 2. Green, green. Where's he go? Oh, my gosh. Almost identical time as the General Andy Patton. He's going to go to the bottom in 3 and 4. Can he find any more time? He's slower in Sector 1. Quicker in Sector 2. But all in all, that's gonna... His Sector 1's just gonna hurt the lap too bad, and Blake Chapman, he's gonna have to settle with P2 as Ross Corinna. He's coming to the line here. Ross Corinna, green, purple. Quick time for Ross Corinna in the 10. Big lap for Ross Corinna there as he's going to steal the pole, being the last car to turn a time. And anybody who knows anything about dirt racing knows how hard it is to go out there and take the pole in the last lap of qualifying. Is it the same as real life? Maybe not, but I call it how I see it here. I'm going to show you the grid here for heat race number 1. Starting on the pole, we got the 31 B-Temp, Brandon Templeton, and it is outside the 29 of Steven Stewart. Inside of row number 2, we got the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, and it is outside Ross, the boss, Corinna. Rounding out the field tonight in row number 3, we've got the 91 of Corey Denson, and it is outside in the 117. In the mystery machine, Michael Todd. Well, Lincoln, this is my favorite track. You know, zooming out here, right where that BAP sign is where I always stand in the infield. Lincoln rarely uses the infield as pits. They've had to a couple times when they get a big field, but I'm an infield watcher here. I like to avoid the dust, but green flag is out for Brandon Templeton. We're going to play in the clay at Lincoln Speedway. Brandon Templeton gonna go off into turn 1. Gonna lose the bottom though. Patrick Spangler gonna mount a charge on the inside. The high side banger. Patrick Spangler's gonna take the lead. Third to first in 1 lap, and now Ross, the boss, he's looking to follow suit. Ross Corinna gets a little squirrely coming out of 2. He's got to get on the binders as Brandon Templeton leaves him no room in 3 and 4. Ross Corinna gonna look back here in 1 and 2 as Brandon Templeton gonna float the high side. He's looking for a big run down the backstretch to answer back. Ross Corinna looks to have P2 coming out of 4, as he does going into turns 1 and 2. Ross Corinna's got 3 laps to see if he can go run down that 39 of Patrick Spangler. He knows he needs a good starting spot for tonight's feature. 2 to go, double sticks in the air. Here's B-Temp trying to mount a charge back on the outside, but he gets loose through 1 and 2. Patrick Spangler coming to the white flag this time by. Final time around Lincoln Speedway. Ross Corinna trying to see what he can do, but just going to run out of time as we might have a battle for this final 3rd spot. No, Patrick Spangler's going to be your heat race number 1 winner, followed by Ross Corinna, Brandon Templeton, Steven Stewart, Michael Todd, and Corey Denson. And Corey Denson did a toe there on the last lap. That always makes iRacing a little angry. Here we go. Excuse me. Starting on the pole, the 218 of Kurt Schatzer, and is outside the 513. The Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Inside of row number 2, we've got Brian Moore Sr. in the 558, and is outside the General, Andy Patton. Rounding out the field tonight in row number 3, we've got Roger Craig, the Bassman, and Sean Green to his outside. Kurt Schatzer knows how important turn 1 here is at Lincoln. He needs to hook it up on the bottom and try to pull away from that 513 of Jeff Barker. You know, we saw guys running the high side in 1 and 2, practicing a little bit there in warm-ups, and I love to say I told you so as a broadcaster. I love knowing my track. You want to run the bottom right now as the 218. Oh, contact between Jeff Barker and Brian Moore. Jeff Barker pulls a wheelie. Oh, no. Oh, Jeff Barker got into Andy Patton, Sean Green. That's a tough start for the Brewerton Beast, but Kurt Schatzer set sail. Bye-bye. He's gone. Battle on for P3. Roger Craig with a slider on the general. Andy Patton. Andy Patton comes back. The 87 of Andy Patton trying to get his momentum back here as he's able to pull away from the Bassman, Roger Craig. Not a lot of racing action here as the field spread out fairly early. But Brian Moore, don't look now, making up a lot of time on Superman. Excuse me if you heard that, I got the hiccups a little bit. Might have them again here. But Brian Moore Sr. coming out of 4, 2 to go. He has closed that gap to about 0.3 of a second here. Battle on for the lead. Kurt Schatzer, though, he's extended that gap back into turns 3. Brian Moore Sr., this is where he's been making up his time, coming out of 4, white flag in the air. Final time around here at Lincoln Speedway is Brian Moore Sr. trying to get a run on Kurt Schatzer, but Superman's going to be your heat race number 2 winner, followed by Brian Moore Sr., Andy Patton, Roger Craig, Sean Green, and Jeff Parker. Heat race number 3 is going to look like this. Anthony Morano, the Ant-Man, is going to start on the pole and is outside. Bob DeGood in the 7. Brad Waite's going to roll off on the inside of row number 2 in the 814 and is outside. The Salesman, Blake Chapman. Inside of row number 3, we've got Tyler Flynn, and rounding out the field, Clay Christopherson in the 051. I believe this is our final heat race here of the evening. And Anthony Morano looking to start in that coveted 3rd place position here. That's where heat race number 3 winner will start the feature. We're going to do an extra lap here. We didn't shorten this one. Boys getting some heat in those motors here. Steve King Foundation pace truck is off, and we are ready to go here. The Maurer Farm Management heat race number 3.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out. Anthony Morano with a good jump. Brad Waite in the 814 looking to follow suit. Trouble in the back for Blake Chapman. Oh, man, that is going to make the triple so much harder for the kid from Iowa. Is Anthony Morano able to set sail all by himself out front? Bob DeGood trying to see if he can mount a charge on this 814 of Brad Waite, but Brad Waite pulls away from him going down the backstretch. And all of a sudden, Tyler Flynn has his sights set on the 7 of Bob DeGood. Tyler Flynn with a big set through 1 and 2. He's going to lose time on Bob DeGood. Let's check out what's going on up front. Brad Waite trying to run down the Ant-Man. Anthony Morano, just no luck here as we're 3 to go, halfway. Bob DeGood able to keep pace now with Brad Waite, but not really able to reel him in. Caught him about 0.5 tenth last lap. Let's see what it looks like this time by. Bob DeGood has been the fastest car on the track the last 2 laps. So that 7 car has found some speed here, but white flag in the air for the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Brad Waite's just looking to play defense here on this final lap. Can't really get up to the 32 of Anthony Morano. Just has to make sure he doesn't lose P2 to the 7 of Bob DeGood. Is checkered flag in the air. 32 of Anthony Morano's heat race number 3 winner, followed by Brad Waite, Bob DeGood, Tyler Flynn, Blake Chapman, and Clay Christopherson. And we're going to take a real quick break. We'll be right back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Raceway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses of man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. Here come the Extreme Speed TV Coast to Coast Racing League Sprint Cars in the Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville National. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Race, drive, green flag, showtime in Knoxville Nationals underway.
The Coast to Coast Racing League, in partnership with the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, Dillon Westbrook Racing, and Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding, are proud to present the 5th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals for the Steve King Foundation. July 22nd to July 25th. 4 days of Knoxville action using the actual Knoxville National scoring system. Over $2,200 in payouts and prizes. $15 for Coast to Coast members, $20 for non-Coast to Coast members with a max I rating of 3,000. All proceeds go directly to the Steve King Foundation. Feel free to donate more. Open setup 360s with all races at the Knoxville Raceway. The event will be open to the first 100 drivers. All races will be broadcasted on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. For more info, log on to www.c2crl.com. It's showtime.
As we are back here ready to bring you some feature action here at Lincoln Speedway as you're watching warm-ups come to an end. Anthony Morano, your quickest. Kurt Schatzer and Patrick Spengler round out the top 3. Brandon Templeton, Ross Corinna, your top 5. Looking forward to good feature race here at Lincoln Speedway. Once again, we're here. The rain out from last week. iRacing had a little trouble, so we're running doubleheader 410s tonight, and we're going to go ahead and read you off your starting lineup here. Starting on the pole, we've got the high side banger, Patrick Spengler, and his outside Superman, Kurt Schatzer. The Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, is going to roll off on the inside of row number 2, and his outside. Oh, quite the tickle in the throat there, and his outside, Ross the Boss Corinna. Brian Moore Sr. is going to roll off on the inside of row number 3, and his outside in the 814. We've got Brad Waite. Brandon Templeton is going to roll off on the inside of row number 4 and is outside the General, Andy Patton. Rolling off on the inside of row number 5, we've got the 7 of Bob the Good and is outside. We've got Steven Stewart in the 29. The Bassman, Roger Craig, is going to roll off 11th and is outside Tyler Flynn. Michael Todd is going to roll off on the inside of row number 7 and is outside Sean Green. And it looks like we're going green this time by, so you guys know how to read. You can see the grid there. We'll fill it out. Keep an eye on Blake Chapman. We'll have to see if he can come through the field here tonight. But green flag is out here at Lincoln Speedway as Patrick Spengler sends it off into turn 1. The high side banger doing it on the low side as he gets a little loose coming out of 2. And a lot of congestion. Ross Corinna gets into the back and he's going to lose some spots. Superman Kurt Schatzer, though, he's got the cape on and he is flying high right now. Patrick Spengler, he is struggling on corner exit. He's got his hands full in that 39. His car is fanning out all over down the front stretch. Oh, caution is out right as we had a battle for the lead. Tyler Flynn. See here, let's try to get a little better view of this. Tyler Flynn in that 814, gonna send it in. He makes contact with Roger going down the straightaway, maybe floats up as the Bassman comes down and hard into that inside wall. Ross Corinna gonna go in and pit as well. You're seeing that right now. He felt like he got some damage in that first incident, getting to the back of the 39 of Patrick Spengler. Tough break for him as we know how hard it is to pass in these things, especially here at Lincoln Speedway. Race truck's still out there, so we'll go around one more time here at Lincoln Speedway. Superman Kurt Schatzer just wants this thing to stay green. These cautions just give the field a chance to tighten up, and you know, gives a guy like the man in this 20 machine a chance to possibly shoot by on the bottom, make a bunch of passes here, but Kurt Schatzer is going to lead us off to the green flag here.
Green flag.
Oh, he pulls a little bit of a wheel stand. That makes us go 3 wide. Brad Wade, a little contact with the Ant-Man. They're able to keep on rolling, but the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, looks to the outside for P2. Patrick Spangler seems to have gotten this thing under control a little bit. He's found some speed in that 39. The high side banger, it looks like the lines moved to the top here. That's where you want to be. They are finding some time up there on the top shelf here in Abbottstown. Patrick Spangler able to stick right with Kurt Schatzer, but they are running identical lines right now. He is going to need that 218 to make a mistake if he wants to go on by. And right as I say that, he sends it in on the bottom and makes it stick. Battle for the lead. Patrick Spangler throws the slider, Danny Dietrich style, coming out of 4. And, oh, not able to get to the line. Patrick Spangler's going to have to give that spot up. We've got a caution out, Jeff Barker. Let's keep an eye on this 513, see what we can see here. So the general, Andy Patton, gets a little squirrely in front of him. Oh, and then he gets a shot there, and tough break for the Brewerton Beast. Patrick Spangler, man, you got a feel for the 39. He maybe showed his hand there a little too early. He almost had the pass locked up, about a 1.5 seconds away from taking over P1. I warned you. I told you to keep an eye on this man. Blake Chapman. He is moving on up through the field. You can see him there with the leaders. This guy wants to go 3 for 3 in the wings, and this is a good chance for him to do it as he's made up a lot of time very fast. Blake Chapman up 10 spots in 6 laps. And if Superman and the high side banger are listening, that is not what they want to hear for sure, but for the first time here tonight, we're going to see the leader choose the high side on a restart here, and as we see, the leaders have been running the lip here in Lincoln Speedway, so that's probably the ideal move. We'll have to see what kind of jump Patrick Spangler can get on the bottom, as there is still a lot of tack left down there. Kurt Schatzer going to go up top. He's going to go up where he's got some tack.
Green.
He's going to get a good jump, and he's going to pull the Ant-Man Anthony Morano around with him. Anthony Morano on that top shelf where Mama hides the cookies, trying to get by the 39. Patrick Spangler trying to find some grip there on the bottom coming out of 4, but he's going to lose P2 to Anthony Morano. Anthony Morano's going to get aggressive here in 1 and 2.
Yellow flag is out.
Oh, caution is out as soon as these guys get racing. Caution is out. Tyler Flynn in the 814. Let's see what happens. Tyler Flynn, he's going to get some help from the 7 of Bob DeGood, and we got a traffic jam there with the 27 and the 44. Tough break. I believe that might have been the caution limit, so we might be single file restarts from here on out, and that's going to stink for Patrick Spangler. He was really hoping to get a jump there with Kurt Schatzer on the high side like Anthony got to get around him, as Patrick's going to have a tough time getting around the Ant-Man. Lights are off on the Steve King Foundation pace truck, and we stay single file. It's Blake Chapman there. He was able to get up to P5. He was able to get up to P5 in that amount of time, so keep an eye out on that kid here. Is the green flag getting ready to fly here at Lincoln Speedway? Let's go play. Anthony Morano loses a little traction on that restart, but he's able to get right up in front of the 39. Blake Chapman's doing it on the bottom. Here comes the salesman. Blake Chapman, plenty of time to get up here and mix things up with these leaders, as we're 15 to go. Blake Chapman has P4 going down the backstretch. Gotta try to keep up the momentum coming out of 4. Can he take P4 at the line? Yes, he does. He's gonna look under the high side banger. Patrick Spangler's next on that list here.
The yellow flag is out.
Oh, man. The yellow flag waves again. Looks like Roger Craig involved this time. Let's see what happened to the Bassman. He sends it off into 1 and 2. Throws a slider. Gets some help from the 7 of Bob to good. And wow, hard hit for the Bassman. Man, he went for a wild ride. Let's go on board with Roger. You know, he was trying to show some focus and patience. He throws a little short slider and just punt it up into the outside wall. Is nothing the Bassman Roger Craig could do there. Superman still the man out front here. Should have 13 to go when we get the green flag. Pace lights are still on. Should be going off here this time down the front stretch. The Steve King Foundation pace truck lights are off, and Kurt Schatzer is going to try to weather this storm. He's got a young kid from Iowa coming up through the field in P4. He's got the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, in P3, and we're going to go around one more time. Here, these guys will try to find the pace truck. The pace truck got to take a little shortcut here at Lincoln. Now he went back through. He's parked in. They'll go around one more time here. Kurt Schatzer should get the green flag coming to the line. 218 showed a lot of speed, but man, he's got some hungry cats behind him. Let's see what the Ant-Man Anthony Morano can do here on this restart. Patrick Spangler gonna go down and shut the door on the salesman. He saw Blake get some speed there and contact through the field. We got a guy over.
Caution, yellow flag.
Brandon Templeton. So we're gonna try to find that wreck here for you. We kind of saw it happen live. But B-Temp, he's just going to get in the outside wall here, coming out of 2. Steven Stewart gets into the back of him, puts him in the wall hard. Oh, man, gets into him again, and Brandon Templeton, he's just going to go for a roll. That Dirt Track Bank 31. Driving a wingless. And, you know, this is only helping out Kurt Schatzer. I mean, it's very frustrating to the rest of the field here. They can't mount a charge. Patrick Spengler especially. I mean, he now maybe showed his hand, you know, going back down to the bottom again there. And you got to wonder if the Ant-Man's going to shut the door this time by. Pace truck is off here at Lincoln Speedway, and we'll be back under green this time here.
Green, green, green.
Kurt Schatzer looks to gap the field a little bit. Patrick Spengler in the inside wall, which leads to a wheelie, and now all of a sudden, he's bait for Blake Chapman in that 20. Blake Chapman looking for the bottom step of that podium. Can he get it done on Patrick Spengler? Not going to have the runoff that the 39 has, and he's not going to get him at the line. Blake Chapman doing all that he can do on the bottom to try to get by the 39 when the high side is clearly where you want to be right now. Blake Chapman just hooking it up, gets into the back of the 32, gets a little sideways in front of him, and man, Blake was on fire through 1 and 2 that last lap. He had the sails set. He was locked in attack on the bottom. Anthony Morano goes back to the high side this time in 1 and 2 and almost 3 wide in the middle of the corners. Blake Chapman finding a lot of speed on the bottom of 1 and 2. If he could get by these two, get to the high side in 3 and 4, we're going to have a battle for the lead, I'm telling you. Blake Chapman, here he comes. Under the 32 of Anthony Morano. Let's see, Blake Chapman, he's going to send it in hard into turn 1. Going to keep it on the bottom here, at least trying to. He's side by side with the 32 going into 3. Blake Chapman, 6 to go at the line. He does that P2. He can hook up his line here on the bottom, and he can move up if he so chooses. No, he makes a mistake. The salesman's got to get it all back, and now the
yellow flag is out.
No! Blake gets a gift with a timely caution, and he is going to get to move back to P2, I bet, here. Merry Christmas, Blake. Steven Stewart looked to be the car involved here. Let's see. This 29, he's going to go up. Is he going to get in the outside wall here? Yeah, he's going to eat it with the right rear. He's going to go up in the wall. He's going to get into the fence here and go around, and that's going to be our caution here at Lincoln Speedway. The salesman, Blake Chapman, though, moved up to that P2 spot. The kid is up 16 spots. What a charge for the salesman. Kurt Schatzer, man, we've all been in his shoes. I guarantee you he's shaking with nerves in that 218. That kid has come out of nowhere, and you know, Kurt, he's probably dedicated to the top. And I would almost say if he doesn't get down to the bottom of 1 and 2, it's going to be tough for him to beat that 20 of Blake Chapman, as Blake has found a lot of speed down there. But Kurt Schatzer going to look to get a good jump on this restart here, as we're going to have 5 to go here at Lincoln Speedway. Blake Chapman with an excellent jump on that start, side by side with the leader at the line, and he looks to the bottom. Patrick Spengler gets in there, and he's got to get out of the throttle, kisses the inside wall. He's going to lose a spot to Clay Christopherson. Back up front, Blake Chapman, though, lost a little time that lap. Let's see if he can get it back. Oh, he hooks the bottom in 1 and 2. Wow, the salesman side by side with the 218 of Kurt Schatzer going through 3 and 4. Coming down the front stretch here, Blake's gonna send it in. He's gonna look to try to get that lead over Superman. We're gonna go up here to my view, get a little better view here as double sticks in the air this time by 2 to go. Superman fights back on the outside, too close to call at the line.
Caution, yellow flag.
Oh no! Caution is out when Blake Chapman had the lead secured and Kurt Schatzer looks to have had it at the line. My, oh my, don't go anywhere. Steven Stewart involved in the caution again here. As Roger makes a little contact with the car in front, tightens up, and there's nowhere for Steven Stewart to go as he ends up on his lid. Man, you gotta wonder how many tricks that kid has left up in the bag, man. I mean, great restart, was side by side at the line with Schatzer. Schatzer fought him off and able to take the lead there with 2 to go right at the line to secure it for this restart. And Blake, man, he's just gotta be head in his hands, wondering what he's gotta do to take this thing. We're going to go back up to the booth here at Lincoln Speedway. I love that view. It really gives you a good racing action. We're going to get the green-white checkered here. 2 sticks in the air. Blake Chapman looks back to the bottom in 1 and 2. Side by side going down the backstretch. Can Kurt Schatzer fight back? White flag in the air as they come down the front stretch. New leader, Blake Chapman. Patrick Spangler gonna look for that middle step of the podium as Kurt Schatzer loops it. Oh, Kurt Schatzer goes around through 3 and 4. Blake Chapman, get the broom out, gonna sweep the wings here tonight. 3 for 3. Starts out with a win at Lernerville in the 360s, follows it up with a 410 win at Lernerville. Loads it up in the trailer. Wrecks in heat number 3, or heat number 2 maybe, whatever, it's not important. Starts in does start in dead last, so he did wreck in heat number 3. Finished last heat number 3, pulls out the backup car, makes some quick adjustments and warm-ups, and the kid is back in victory lane. My, oh my. Let's bring you up that finish here is Clay Christopherson. He was able to steal that final podium spot here. Is Blake Chapman, your winner. Patrick Spangler, Clay Christopherson, Anthony Morano, Brad Waite, rounding out your top 5. Brandon Templeton, Jeff Barker, Sean Green, Bob DeGooden, the Bassman, rounding out the top 10. The rest of the field, Corey Denson, Michael Todd, Brian Moore Sr., Kurt Schatzer, Steven Stewart, Tyler Flynn, Andy Patton, and Ross Carina. My, oh my, what a finish here to cap off the night in the Coast to Coast Racing League. And I'm bringing up your 3rd place finisher here, Clay Christopherson. Man, you know, that was an exciting last lap there. Did you think you had a podium in the cards?
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're able to secure that 3rd place there. And do you think if a couple more laps go on, do you think you had anything for that 39 of Patrick Spangler?
I'm not sure. The car felt really good. When I got collected with Morano, that's when the car felt a little different on the right rear, but it still managed. If that caution wasn't on, I felt like I had a drive coming to him. I was running really good. I think on the last couple laps I was running 2s and 3s, and the car felt really gripped up where I was putting it.
Well, Clay, able to end the night with a podium here, man. You got to be happy with that. Who do you want to thank?
Everyone at FTM, all the guys, Dean and Morano for telling me to come back to this league so I can shake the rust off. Only running once or twice a week, you get a little slow, so you need to try new things, and it's been fun, and shout out to Swan Speed Shop as well for all the 358 and big block setups.
Well, hey, hell of a job, Clay, and looking forward to a lot more interviews this season, my man.
Sounds good. Thanks.
It's going to be your third place finisher, Clay Christopherson. And, well, Patrick, man, finishing second to this kid is becoming quite the theme here tonight. Could you have done anything different?
Yeah, I could have hoped that there were no double file restarts. I'll forever hate them. I was going for the pass for the lead, and then Kosh came out, got stuck on the bottom, and then Morano got back around me.
Yeah, I brought that up on the broadcast, and then the next restart, when you would have gotten to start on the high side there, they decided to go single file. So kind of a product of, racing, and maybe we'll eventually incorporate that choose cone. That would be a nice add somehow. But hey, man, all these podiums tonight, you got to be proud of yourself here. And coming back to Pennsylvania, getting a night full of them, you got to feel good. But who you want to thank, Patrick?
Yeah, to shoot for the awesome broadcast, Rod to run the league, Velocity Race Science again for sponsoring. Sorry to shout out to Ross there. I got super loose, forgot how to drive on the first lap this feature, and hung it like 90 degrees to the right and gave him damage. So sorry to him, and hopefully we can carry momentum in next week.
Well, hey, Patrick, man, looking forward to calling a couple more races with you here this week. We should have a couple going tomorrow, so hopefully I talk to you again tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully. Talk to you later.
That's the 39, Patrick Spangler. He's going to bring it home P2. And now, 3 in a row, Blake. How's it feel, man? And you had to work for this one.
Yeah, that race alone, man, that was something else, After that incident in the heat race, I'm just like, well, we'll just go get some laps in and see what we can do. And I was going to just try and run all over the track and get as many positions as I could. But the track was racy, and I was able to get around a couple guys up top early on. And then I put the car down low because it seemed like everybody else in front of me was up top. And I just hit the exit of the corner, and the car would take off. So it felt really, really good. And I thought I threw this race away just like I did the street stocks when I hit that inside wall with a couple to go. But the car still turned, and that's all I needed it to do.
Yeah, man, it's almost like you watch a lot of races here or something, running the Freddie Raymer line down there on the bottom. He brings home track championships here every year, and you replicated that, man, moved through the field, and, it's not always fun with all these cautions, and we know you had to be a little frustrated there. You had the lead a couple times, it seemed like, and a caution would come out, but, hey, man, at the end of the day, the chips fell the way they probably should have, and going 3 for 3 tonight with the wings. So hell of a job, kid. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank the family for watching. Got to thank all the guys at the Crate Sim Racing Team, the Can-Am Racing Team. Got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps, Andy at AJ Custom Creations. I got to thank Ross at Velocity Race Designs for putting this broadcast on. And I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. You can head over to their website and get some of their delicious popcorn. And don't forget to use code CART at checkout for 15% off. And I got to thank you for doing the broadcast, Shaggy.
Well, appreciate it, kid. Hell of a job tonight. And, man, looking forward to calling a couple more of your wins here this season.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you.
That's Blake Chapman, your feature winner tonight. And like I say, 3 feature winner tonight here, man. He went for the triple there in the wings, and he started dead last tonight at Lincoln. Passed 17 guys and went and won himself a feature. So hats off to that kid. That is an impressive feat. It is hard to pass guys at Lincoln, and I mean, to do it clean and come home with no damage on that thing, hell of a job for Blake. But that's going to do it here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and I'm Zach Chapman, part of Shaggy TV, and it was my pleasure bringing you Hometown Heroes. Big shout out to Velocity Race Wrap Designs for sponsoring tonight, and looking forward to bringing you some action here tomorrow in the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're going to be at Lima Land, so make sure you're here at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Set the alarms. This is the place to be. Have a good evening.